Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and of course today we shall be continuing the Bounty Hunter this week. Of course you have until Monday reset to complete out any Bounty Hunter that you may want to do. We end up buying one of every pack, so we are going to be once again going and grinding out the last of the rewards. And I guess we'll end up giving a redeem code once we hit both of the bigger rewards. One pretty soon when we hit 19, and then another one when we hit the final 21 a little bit later in the stream, like we did last time around. But yeah, JCG, as I mentioned earlier, I believe he said he's not going to stay there though, but at least at this current moment in time, he is indeed in first place. And we are nowhere to be seen because we haven't done the rest of our battles yet. But once we do, we will be on the board too. And then we'll at least get one small orb for doing so on top of everything else that we're already getting. So hopefully we'll get some good drops out for these. We'll have to see. So far, major orb drops have pretty much been right down the line as far as like perfectly 25% chance at everything. But hopefully we'll get blues and other really good orbs off of that. Other than that, that's pretty much everything. So let's get into it then. Oh yeah, and don't forget, if you need Ferris Raz, definitely go get it by the end of the week. Not only is he available in SoulForge, he's also in Event Keys right now. And both of those will not be available as of Monday reset. So yeah, if you've been needing one, now is definitely a good time to go get one. That or wait until the next time it comes in SoulForge. Thank you, Jamie. Much appreciated. Also, hello, Simple, JZG, Haley, and Jamie. Also, hello, Vanguard in the house. Welcome, welcome. Anyways, let's go over to Bounty Hunter. As I mentioned yesterday, as was actually suggested, Guai these days is basically mandatory for Bounty Hunter. It's about as mandatory as Mang is for raids. The main reason for this is Guai is insanely good with the new Feral Hounds. Feral Hound just in general is actually really above average compared to any other bounty troop they currently have created. But it creates 8 purple and 8 red, and then barriers a random ally. This is particularly useful with Guai because he converts all purple to red. So he basically just perpetually extra turns, gets insane amount of damage, gets magic steal, even has immune to mana drain which comes into play, gets to steal some HP. And worse comes to worse, it could even kill off the enemy with Inferno armor if it's the last thing left on your team. So it has a lot going for it, and yeah, we get 23 times points, technically, excuse me, a max of 24 times, though we won't specifically have 24 times until next week, because I won't have enough copies, but yeah, next week we'll have 24 times on every battle. What's also interesting about Bounty Hunter is once a good team gets created, it's perpetually going to be a good team for Bounty Hunter forever, and that's basically what has happened now. It's Feral Hounds, Guai, Parrot, and whatever the new troop is that comes in next week. Is likely going to be what we use. There might be a chance I have to go Ice Wraith instead of Parrot, because we might not be able to get our Parrot to Mythic next week, but we'll see. That might actually be the one case where I might throw a little blue orb on it. Probably not, because that'll be a complete waste. But I will feel tempted for that one times. But I'm not quite sure. It really depends heavily on what next week's troop is. But yeah, Feral Hound with Guai is now like a mandatory double combo. As far as getting really high score. Anyways, but it's pretty cheap. This you get for free, or you know, almost for free. You get it this week for like what, 70 gems or something. And Guai is the only real hard component of really getting. Yeah, definitely highly advise getting Guai now, if you haven't already. Of course, there's no easy way to immediately get him, unfortunately. But nor is his event coming anytime soon. But hopefully he'll be in the SoulForge or something in the next few weeks. I'll make sure to mention it. But yeah, hopefully before next Bounty Hunter. Oh, we'll go take this go over, get the Guai down, and just keep spamming that pretty much until we win. Going back and forth between the two. And we also got a Skull Storm too, which, it's not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, at least on this context of the team. In normal battles, that could actually come into play quite a bit. And these, I guess it helps speed it up, but it could also backfire pretty easily. One nice thing it does give, I guess, is the ability of a slightly better chance of extra turning when things cascade down. And get a huge Guai in there. He even has boost ratio based on what he converts to, and he's going to get such a huge convert each time because of how much of it's on the board. Oops, what am I doing? I could just went for the kill. And there we go. Hello, Dark Owl. Hello, Straw. And hello, Spooks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope all of you have been having a good day. Syria hasn't been. Oh gosh, what is Trump and international everything doing? I heard that last night. I was actually still up when they bombed Syria. Hopefully not World War III. But I have no clue what they're doing. I'll go move that over. Hit the Guai down. What do we even need to move around? What do we need to move around? I guess we'll take the purple. Didn't get the skull. Take the red. It's really good to take reds too, because we have our banner set to a +2 red, so just simply taking 2 reds, even if 0 of them surge, is full mana. The only big issue is, again, this Ice Wraith. I would really replace this if I had something to replace it with, but if I do, I lose 1 times on my extra score, so it's not worth replacing him. But, yeah, I wish we weren't blocking brown right now. It would be really convenient. If brown and red went directly into it, this would actually go a lot smoother. But if we take brown, it just goes straight into the first trip there. Hello, Tim! Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Okay, I need greens, so we can get him up. Green or red, but neither are available. So, you know, I will take a blue first, because this will allow the brown to leak into the next one. Though I don't even need it, I could just go straight for the red surge. Oh, you actually got the kill, though. Well, at least we're not blocked on brown. Well, that fixed that problem, I guess. We'll go throw that down. This is not an extra turn. Still gonna throw it, though. Okay, apparently I lied. It is an extra turn. Out of the sky it is. Random sky coming in. But we'll go and throw down for some reds. See if we can get a Guai in there. Does not look like it. Go move that real quick. I have silence. I think I may use it. Because this skull does nothing initially because he's hitting on barrier. So we'll go silence that. Hopefully get multi-silence. Nope, only silence the one. But we'll get this back down. Does indeed extra turn. Get our gigantic boost ratio. Get a map. Get a poke. And I guess we'll follow up on the Guai. I'm not going to try getting alignment. We'll just go straight for the kill. Okay, well, now we're down to only 2. Well, gotta make sure he doesn't get too many casts down. I don't know how many he's actually gotten. That's the only real big issue with things like gold boost ratios and soul boost ratios. There's no way to actually see the enemy's resources, so you kind of have to keep track of it the entire battle. And I haven't been this battle, but if you really want to know the exact amount of damage they're going to be doing, you do have to keep track of it the entire time. Also, I didn't eat breakfast, so I'm just, like, randomly nibbling on Cheez-Its. If you're wondering, like, what I'm eating. What's the easiest way to get the event done? Isn't this week's event to kill purple? If it is, the easiest way to get the event done is spam Golvania with whatever Explorer teams you might have. Either Sunbird, Rowan, Double Firebomb, or, you know, any of the kind of standard soul farming teams that you may have laying around. But yeah, as far as that, yeah, all you have to do is just keep spamming out Explore. Of course, you can do it in PvP too, but it's a lot quicker in Explore. Unless a lot of people happen to have their team set to purple, but I don't think they do. Sometimes that happens. Certain level ranges can get really lucky with a lot of people setting exactly to whatever the event is, but it's easier just doing Golvania this week. Because it's PvP or Explore, so normally whenever it's PvP or Explore, it's always quicker to do it in Explore. It's not as profitable, but it's a lot quicker. So if you're only looking to get it done quick and just for the rewards from the event objectives, it's definitely worth just doing an Explore if both options are available. Unless there's no really good kingdoms for it. But yeah, as I mentioned, Golvania has like 13 purples in it. So it's a really high chance that you'll end up getting purples if you go and explore there. Okay, we'll go get that down. He actually helps us with that cast, so very nice. Go move that over. Don't have anything else to go really move over here. Yeah, we'll just get that down. And there we go. Get another poke down. Need to get the last of our mana. That dying actually helps us, so that's not too big a deal. It helps us because it doesn't block us anymore on brown. We could actually win with just these 2 troops. I don't even need any other team. these two alone is my entire team, pretty much. And then once more bounty hunter troops come into the game, then more can be filled in. Yeah, these two alone is pretty solid. Plus the parrot. Parrot's helpful. The only big issue with parrot is it does nothing against Valraven. And Valraven can get away pretty easily since we don't have any good disable for it. Unless we get a good loop going quickly like we did. Oh, we hit exactly 170,000. I'd never actually seen it get to such a perfect number. Look at that. 170,000 on the dot. Very interesting. Sure, let's screenshot it. I have yet to see it with 4 zeros. Let's see if we get it 20,000. I'd have to plan that out to get it that perfect. Wait, why is the screenshot not working? Okay, there it goes. That was delayed. That was like 10 seconds after I clicked the button. Anyways, let's go back into it. What's the quickest way to gain gems without spending money? As I mentioned, treasure maps. If you have a lot of gems laying around, it's about 60 gems per hour. If you need to go and manually farm the gems, farm the treasure maps because you don't already have them, it's around 40 to 50 gems per hour in that case. But yeah, if you already have, like, let's say 500 maps, yeah, it's upwards of 60 gems per hour. And that could be even more if you spend all your gold and glory on gold and glory keys that you get from the game mode. But yeah, that's the highest consistent gem rate you can really get infinitely. Which isn't too bad. Let's see. Go through that down. Actually, with how expensive it is to buy gems, I think it's almost cheaper in some instances to farm gems than it is to buy gems because of how overpriced things are. Alright, we'll go through that down. Actually, I never did look at that ever since we found out the exact rate of gems within Treasure Hunt. We can technically gain consistently around 70 gems per hour if we go and throw all those resources down. Probably even a little bit better than that. We'll just say 70 gems per hour when we calculate it out because I am really curious what that comes down to. Let's see. I'm gonna throw this poke at him. We have 2 HP. The 2 HP troop kills out the other 2 HP troop. Seems about right. Okay, we'll go take a red right there. Oh, I should have taken the blue into it. Oh well, not that big a deal. Get that down. I don't have any cascade for that. We'll simply just go take a red. So now give us a Guai cast, hopefully. Never mind. No. We'll go throw this down then. See if we can get some kind of setup. Does not look like it. It just looks like I'll feed him everything. So we'll give him a skull. He'll take a skull. And again, can't cast because nowhere to really do it. Again, nowhere to really do it. We'll just go through that down. And come on now. Do I wait? We have barrier, so it's not like he's going to do much. We'll wait it out. And there we go. Now we have our alignment. About time. Get that down. Oh, I could have just killed him with another Guai. Well, there we go. No, he's definitely dead. Oh, you have like 400 maps? Yeah, that'd be enough to do it for 3 hours. Oh, what was the exact rate of maps we destroyed? Oh, no, never mind. It was only under 1 per minute. Yeah, never mind. You only use about 55 to 60 maps per hour. So, yeah, never mind. Yeah, that would last you a while if you have 400 maps for sure. That would definitely last you a pretty decent amount of time. Yeah, let me go calculate that out real quick. I'm curious. Shop. Let's see. Yeah, basically, it's $6 in gems, basically from playing Treasure Hunt. That is quite off. Of course, that's from the smallest pack, but still. Yeah, you can get basically what's considered $6 worth of gems per hour in Treasure Hunt. Yeah, I never really realized it was actually that decent until we went to go and test it. I didn't think the repeat buff would really make it much different. It could be that they've adjusted the drop rate slightly too. But yeah, it definitely wasn't that bad, that is for sure, off of Treasure Hunt when we went to go test it. I might even go start playing it a little bit more because for gems, it isn't horrible. Of course, to go and farm that many gems seems quite tedious though, because if you spend like a whole day, let's say like 10 hours, you still only got like 600 gems, which is still a decent amount, but in the whole scheme of the game, it's, I guess, not like a really huge amount, because you could just like wait another week and then boom, you just already got it, so why go out of your way to do it? But of course, for like doing that last little bit of grind, if you need something specifically, or if a new troop came out and you're a little low on gems, then those instances could definitely end up working out quite nicely. Anyways, let's go back to Bounty Hunter. I think we're almost up to the first reward, and as I mentioned, we will give out the first redeem code then. Oh, never mind, we already hit it. Well, let me go do that right now. Well then, well, let's go give out the redeem code. Let's see what we get from the major orb first. And what do we have? There we go. That is exactly what I want to see. That is the best possible drop. I still don't know exactly what gem value I would put on that thing, but it's probably around 1,000 to 2,000 gems is how much that major orb is worth. So there we go. That is by far the absolute best drop you can get from that. So that is very, very nice. I think that's our second one, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yes, that is indeed our second major orb of Ascension. So currently we've gotten 2 green drops, 2 blue drops, 2 orange drops, and 1 purple drop. So statistically, we will get a purple drop next. Though ideally, we will get a blue drop next. As long as it's not green or orange, I'll be fine with it though. Green is absolutely useless. Orange is, at least for me, useless because I already have everything as traded as they could ever be, with enough traits to do it for forever. So the only 2 that matter to me are the blue ones and the purple ones. More specifically, the blue ones. But yeah, there we go. The purple one's basically 75 gem keys, and the blue one is will save us from having to open a bunch of keys because we can just max Ascension something whenever we want, which is quite nice. Anyways, yeah, let me go give out the redeem code as I mentioned. Oh yeah, sorry, Jamie, get the dragon armor, not the soul armor. Dragon armor is always the best one to get first. Assuming you're not getting, where is it? Yeah, assuming you're not getting the Death Knight armor, Dragon armor is always the first one you should get. The main reason for this is gold is a lot more important than souls early on. You do eventually want to get Celestial armor if you're not planning on getting Death Knight. You basically want to get both of these. But you use Dragon armor way more, particularly earlier on in the game. Also later on in the game. There's basically, like right when you first start off, you use Dragon armor a lot. Then towards mid-game, you start using Celestial armor because you start to need the souls to upgrade kingdoms. And then you go right back to Dragon armor later in the game because you need gold more than souls for when you need to go and contribute to your guild. So yeah, Dragon armor is definitely the best one to do first. What was I about to go do? Oh yeah, redeem code. Duh. I accidentally closed out the redeem code section, so let me go hunt down where on earth my redeem codes are. Give me about a minute. Need to go find them. Come on, load. Form's not loading. What are you doing, Forum? Load. I'm stuck on a loading screen. What is this? There we go. Aww. The second I click back, it goes and it goes and loads it up. Okay, let me go and head in there, head into mail, head into all my mails, go to there, and there we go. And let me go make sure the code works. That would be important. Loading screen simulator. It's the loading screen simulator all over again. There we go. And success. Success. Okay, it worked. So let me go put that there. Let me go put this into the thing below. And we'll have another one whenever we get the final reward. Which I would assume is about an hour from now, though I have no clue how long it'll take, because the current team we're using actually gets it pretty quick. But there we go. 4477 a ninja. What on earth for some of the code she makes. But yeah, there you go. 4477 a ninja. A ninja. I probably should have saved that if a ninja troop was coming in. I don't think anything ninja related is coming in anytime soon, though. Or maybe there is, and I just completely wasted that code now. But oh well. There's the code. Use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Only works on PC mobile. And there you guys go. Oops, there it goes, yep. And there it is in chat if you just want to go click on it. Also, I believe I missed a question. Let me go back for a second. Answered that. As I mentioned, yeah, do make sure Dragon Armor is the first armor you get if you don't intend getting Death Knight. It's a lot better than Celestial Armor. Let's see. Not a watermelon fan. Because of the emoji spam. You need souls. You just got 8,000. Easiest way to go gain souls is to go use a Valkyrie triple Warlock with the Warlocks traded, or a Dragon Soul triple Warlock in first challenge Divinian Fields, and you can easily get that many souls that you mentioned within half an hour, approximately. The other way you could do it is if you go to Arena, you can easily get it within an hour if you know how to play Arena decently. Oops, I forgot Arena's not there anymore. But if you play Arena, Arena ranges anywhere from about 5,000 to 25,000 souls approximately. It depends on a lot of factors, but on average it's about 10,000 souls per hour, and you can easily get that earlier on in the game once you have a decent understanding of how the game works, or the game mode works. What's the code for? All it does is give you some in-game resources if you're on PC mobile. Does not work on console, unfortunately. But you get 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold, as it always does. Do we get anything from it? Probably not. Nope. Fire Giant, don't even need that. Yeah, that's what it gives as normal. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. This is a small amount of resources. We'll have another one a little bit later on, once we get the next reward from Bounty Hunter, which is soonish. Kind of. We have to go get all those points, but we're getting, like, what, 4,600 per battle or something? So, we're making pretty good pacing. Yeah, exactly 4,600 per battle. So, yep, let's get back into that then, and finish out the last of our Bounty Hunter battles. I want to attempt Brown. It needs to surge, though. There we go. That's exactly what we needed. Well, at least we actually turned on something. I wish we would have been on red, but that's still fine. Let's go throw a Guai down. Get that right back in. Didn't get all the mana I needed, unfortunately. I actually probably should have grabbed some, so we didn't need to waste a turn now. We'll give it one last shot. Ah, I completely missed. Okay, I need to go take a green now. Luckily, he sets up the board at least. Oh, no, he doesn't. He got rid of my green that I needed. Or at least moved it in a way that I can't take it. Okay, I need to stop doing that spam. It's going to backfire. It's backfiring way too much right now. So we'll get that down. Now we can do it just so we get extra turn. Throw it down again. Throw it down again. No, we'll go back into it. And now we'll throw it down again. Get our free turn. Get it for free turn basically every time. And we take red here. In a way that will just go distract for him. Actually, I could just take green as well. Oh, no, never mind. Green will give him skulls. So, yeah, we'll take that red. Oh, come on. It still gave him a free skull. Really? Okay, we'll throw this down, and then hopefully that gives us our alignment we need. Perfect. And, yeah, it's pretty much matched. Throw it down again, and one more poke will do it. And, well, not that kind of poke. I meant a natural ability poke. And that's match. And it's even extra turn, even if it wasn't. Which we could have scolded out with, or another Guai, or any number of things. And there we go. Hello, SBM. Welcome. Oh, the first challenge of Divinian Fields. The reason why you do first challenge of Divinian Fields, if you're ever wondering why I always say that, it has the lowest durability of any out of any challenge in the game. Basically, out of any infinitely repeatable battle, it is the weakest infinitely repeatable battle that you can consistently get. It's commonly used for EXP farming as well as for soul farming, due to it being just such an easy kingdom to do it in. There are a few other instances around various kingdoms where you are similar battles to that, but as far as the absolute lowest, it is that kingdom. The only slight issue with that kingdom is the first troop does have a 20% agile, which can sometimes get in the way. But other than that, it is the weakest possible kingdom as far as HP plus armor is concerned. So things like Dragon Soul, Warlock, stuff like that are really effective in that first challenge. Oops, why did I take that? That one was completely pointless. Alright, we'll go throw that in there. No, I did not do it on Warlord 2. If I'm doing Warlocks, it can vary depending on how high your Warlocks can hit. You need to make sure your Warlocks can one-shot them. So if your Warlocks aren't able to one-shot them, you might want to consider doing Arena instead as your soul farming method. But if they can, you want to do it on the highest difficulty where you can still one-shot them. In my case, I believe that is Warlord 2 for them. But if you're just starting out, it'd probably be just normal difficulty. As far as Dragon Soul, you always run it on Warlord 2 difficulty because you need 3 casts, and Warlord 2 difficulty is the highest difficulty you can do to kill them in 3 casts. So, yeah, for Dragon Soul, it's always Warlord 3. For Warlock, it can vary depending on what your max hit is on your Warlocks. I want to drop that so bad. Where's a peasant when you need it for those big plays? There's actually a lot of really good things a peasant can do. Even though a lot of people consider it the worst troop in the game. I actually find it to be really, really decent. I just don't personally use it because its traits are horrible. But, yeah. I really wish peasant did have something else going for it. Because the strategy that you use for him is quite unique in that no other troop actually does what he does. Despite him being a common. Alright, we'll go move that down. Get a Guai. Pretty bad start so far. Luckily, we don't have a Valraven on the opposing team. So even if we lose, it's only 1 lose and not 3 losses. Like we'd sometimes have to deal with. Alright, we'll go get that down. Get that down, hopefully into some red extra turn. Very nice. Get it down again. Even nicer. 3 times in a row. Perfect. Except you didn't bury the right one. Let's see. 4 times? Might as well. There we go. And now it finally buried the right one as well. And I mainly just did that for the alignment, though. Not for the barrier, obviously. To get our mana going. Go through that down. Get that down again. No extra turn. Hopefully this one will. No extra turn again, but we got all the mana we need. Plus alignment. And get that back down. It even goes super quick, too. It's not only effective, but it also works out quick. Or at least once you start getting it going, anyways. It's hard to get it going, but once it gets going, it's nice and smooth. Yeah, we need, like, a 50% reduction troop that has, like, stone skin or something. Actually, let me go double check. What is the new bounty hunter troop that's coming in? I don't even think we know ahead that far as the spoiler thread. Let me go check real quick. I'm curious. What is the next bounty hunter troop, and will it be worth using? Or, well, obviously we have to use it, but I mean, will it be worth using in this context of this team? Regardless, we'd be using it with it, but still. Oh, nope. It's a green-yellow. It cleanses all allies, dispels and stuns all daemons and undead, and gains an extra turn. So that thing's going to be pretty bad, actually. Oh, it's only 6 mana cost, though. Oh! Hold up. A 6 mana cost rare? Pretty sure that is the lowest mana cost rare in the game. I don't recall any rares having that low of a mana. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the lowest mana cost rare. I could go look that up on Ash Tender, but yeah, I'm almost guaranteed that is the lowest mana cost rare in the game. 6 mana cost. Interesting. Yeah, it cleanses all allies, dispels and stuns all damage and undead enemies, and then gain an extra turn. Interesting. And it has Empower too on top of that. Wow. Oh, that could actually have some purpose in the future. It's also a really cheap troop, so it could be used as an alternative Mercy. It doesn't have the speed of a Mercy as far as supporting your mana, but as far as like the first turn cleanse and stuff, yeah, that's an interesting troop. Could also end up making Daemons and Undead used a little bit less, given that it has that stun. Highly doubt that will make too big a difference, though. Guard's Avatar already covers Daemons pretty well. But yeah, that's going to be a really budget, easy-to-obtain cleanse option, then, for everyone. So yeah, that's definitely highly advised to go get, then. It's going to be pretty nice. Because early game doesn't have too many cleanse options. Normally, Herdmaster is about the best thing you can really run if you're looking for early game cleanse. And he's an ultra rare, so that's why actually one rarity lower. And it has empowered. So you get like the benefit of our Mercy, but you have a low rarity troop that you can easily obtain. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad they're finally adding Bounty Hunter troops that can be used outside of Bounty Hunter. Because this thing can definitely be used outside of Bounty Hunter. The new one coming next month will be able to be used outside of Bounty Hunter. And hopefully all the ones they add for now on will also be able to. Parrot technically can too, but every other one cannot due to how weak they are. Okay, so far so good as far as the start, which is good because we have a Valraven pretty deep into the team that we need to go kill. Wish I could take a skull here so we could go and Yagway into the bird, but I'll try getting that down. Oh, we actually got it too. Nice. Okay, we'll get that down again. And now we can actually hit into the bird. Go move that over. Oh, I should have, that was a bad move. I shouldn't have done that. He's starting to work on his yellow mana. That's not good. We'll take a red here, throw that down again, hopefully have alignment, go from there. Up, or he'll give it to me, that works too. That's perfectly fine if he's going to feed us alignment. No alignment. I'm tempted to throw it though, regardless. No, I'm not going to go for it. There we go, it was worth it. Cast that out. And cast it again just to make sure it dies. Oh, and we had alignment too, I didn't even realize that out of the corner there. And it's pretty much match, all we have to do is get one more Yagway. I think that'll be enough. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be enough. Take the green, and that's match. Is Mercy, Diviner, Pengalong, Divine, Ishabella any good? Divine team? Till you get Infernus. Mercy, Pengalong, Divine, Ishabella. Not so sure about the Pengalong on the team. What else does Yellowstorm these days? And again, there might not be a viable Yellowstorm. I forget what it's called. Oh, never mind. Pengalong. Why did I think... Never mind. I thought you were saying a different troop. My bad. Yeah, that's fine then. For whatever reason, I thought you were talking about, what's the other one called? Oh, Periton. Yeah, I thought you said Periton for whatever reason. I was like, wait, Lightstorm. What does do Lightstorm while I'm looking at it, though? There's not that many options. But yeah, we have, 4 troops that can do Lightstorm. Periton, Prince, Skyrim, Skyrim, or Skirmer, and Strizhik. Of those, Periton actually is the best, which is kind of odd. Maybe this guy under some instances, but more often than not, it's actually the Periton. But yeah, for the Pengalong thing that you mentioned, yes, the team you mentioned is perfectly fine. Yeah, my bad, I thought you said a completely different troop. But yeah, what you mentioned is completely fine then for a team. Please go over what kingdoms currently go to 9 stars. I forget all of them off the top of my head, but I assume any of them that I have currently at 9 stars are all the 9-star kingdoms, which would be Stormheim, Golvania, Pridelands, and I believe that's it. Oh, and Fars of Thorns. Oh, and Kedar. But yeah, those are all the 9 stars as of currently. There might be a few others that I just haven't gotten myself. I forget where a full list is kept. There is one... Oh, I forget where it went. There actually is one, spoiler thread that, goes over the exact time when kingdoms will reach the next star level. But, I actually don't currently have that up at the moment. I'm not going to go try finding out where on Earth that is at the moment. But, yeah, there is one of them that does that. I need to make sure I keep that in the description, too. I used to have that bookmarked, but for whatever reason, I have no clue where it went. But yeah. But whenever I go and find it, I will go bring it back up. But, yeah, there's about 5 or 6 9 stars at the moment. We still have a long while before we start reaching 10 stars, that is for sure. They're likely not trying to reach 10 stars until later this year, or maybe even next year or something. Finally got Voice of Orpheus. Any viable teams? Unfortunately, not really. Voice of Orpheus was a lot weaker than I initially anticipated her to be, or him to be. It just doesn't really function that well. It's great for a quick cleanse, but that's about all it really has, is the perpetual quick cleanse. No other aspect about it is particularly good. The way that it does damage is extremely clunky, and should definitely be reworked because of how bad it is. Problem is, they haven't been reworking many troops lately. They used to do a lot more, but as of recently, they haven't been. They definitely need to. Because, of course, as they add more and more troops to the game, too, they're making older stuff weaker. Even though that's not too old, that's actually pretty recent. That's like, what, 3 mythics ago or something? 4 mythics ago? How do you redeem the code? It's on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. On their official website thingy. But yeah, the code might be used up by now, but we will have another one a little bit later during the stream. Once we hit the next reward, or I should say the final reward. Because there only is one more reward left, thingy. Or, you know, the last thing of Bounty Hunter. But yeah, once we hit that, we'll give it out. He keeps surviving with exactly 2 HP. I guess that's what 2 skulls brings him down to, I guess. Which is nice, because he's not dead yet. Guai, we don't need that, so we'll go throw that down. Get a poke on it. And what else do we need here? Try getting that extra turn. Got it. Nice. Guai it. Extra turn. And keep working down the line. I have a silence. Don't think we need it, though. Barely been throwing it at all, actually. And this is just a meat shield for the points. Okay, I can't take that skull because we are frozen. So I'm not even going to bother on it. Oops, why did I do Guai? I did not mean to do Guai. Oops. I meant to do the... Oh, I didn't even have the mana for it. I meant to cast this thing, not Guai. But we'll go cast that. We can actually lose now. If we're not careful. Fierce Raw can hit pretty big. I think that's its first cast, though, so we do have a little bit of leeway. But once it starts getting into its next cast, or the one after its next cast, it starts to hit really high. Basically one shot every time if we don't have barrier up. But there we go, he's down. So that's not going to matter because we won already. Oh, and we get an arcane from it. Oh yeah, I forgot, you actually get trait stones from these. I think there was one of the game modes where you don't get trait stones. Also, hello, September Blake. Also, hello, Humberto. The Orb of Clans is the worst orb, isn't it? No, Orb of Clans is actually really good. Well, it's not good if you're trying to craft a Zugoth. It's the worst orb you can get. But if you're not trying to craft a Zugoth, it's basically one of the best orbs you can get because it essentially counts as gem keys, assuming your guild is fully maxed out. Oh, Stan, the weakest battle thing is from Divinian Field's first challenge. Can I explain Valraven a little? Basically, Valraven is a troop that appears during raids, bounty hunter, and invasion. They only appear in that game mode, and basically, if you kill it, you end up getting 2 sigils, which allows you to play the game mode more. It's a little bit of a weird format how they have it, but because it's completely luck-based if you end up finding them. But yeah, if you do end up finding them and then getting a kill on it, you get 2 more sigils for whatever game mode that it is you get it within. But yeah, that's all it really does. Just gives you slightly more battles. This is mostly relevant in Bounty Hunter and in raids. In Invasion, it's a little bit less relevant. Not because they do anything less, but because once you've reached 4 towers, they don't appear anymore. You still get sigils as if they do, but they don't actually specifically appear, which is kind of weird how they have that. because the whole mechanic of ravens are basically non-existent there, even though it still gives you points for it, which is kind of odd. Let's see. I missed a lot of chat. Wow. Do I know any guards avatar teams? Yes, we have 2 that we normally set up. The cheaper one that doesn't require traits on him that I normally show is Honor, Apothecary, Guards Avatar, and Corvash. The reason you use Corvash is for the boost ratio for your Honor. But yeah, that team is generally what I do for budget Guards Avatar. The non-budget team is something like Alchemist Hellcat or Alchemist Moneylender into a or Mercy Alchemist Hellcat into a Guards Avatar, and you can double cast with that and infinitely loop it. And if you have it fully traded, you gain a lot of bonus stats to it. But of course, if you don't have that traded, you could easily go with the first team that I mentioned, which is Honor, Apothecary, Guards Avatar, and Corvash. And that's generally what I use whenever I'm messing around with it. Just because it's a lot more accessible to more people, since it doesn't require traits. And of course, Corvash can call, I mean not Corvash, well Corvash too, but Guard's Avatar does have really expensive traits due to being a Mythic. Okay, we'll go through that down. Yeah, we'll take the last of the red, why not? Oh, I could have taken the green and then done that, oh well. There's no purples on the board, or very few. Let's go do this into a skull poke, or even just any poke. Doesn't even matter what I hit it with, as long as we hit it with something. And down it goes. You finally got. Oh, never mind. I already answered that. Wait, I missed. How did I miss a whole chunk of chat? But then there was another chunk of chat that I answered. That's weird. I think it's because I normally look at chat from the most recent back. So sometimes the really late stuff, if I sometimes skip a little bit, that was probably when I was giving out redeem codes or something. But whenever I skip around a little bit, I sometimes miss a lot of chat. Apparently, wow, there's like a whole gap of like 6 chats back there. What do I think of the new Doom Skulls? Oh yes, by the way, I forgot to really mention anything about it. As I speculated, Doom Skulls are literally the exact same mechanic as what Puzzle Quest had. They are a +5 damage skull that when taken from the board will do 5 damage, additional damage to your hit when you do it. So basically, let's say, oh, I don't have any good example on this board. Let's go and do that. Leave an example. Come on. The one time I want like 3 pairs of gold just to be next to each other. But, there we go, finally. Okay, so let's say one of these was a Doom Skull. Let's say this one right here was a Doom Skull. Our skull damage should go up to like 31 or 32 because it's giving us 5 additional damage. Not sure if it's just going to add 5 or what to this value. I would assume it would just add 5. So if that is the case, that would be 32 damage when we take this. Not only would this do that 5 additional damage, but it would explode everything around the location of the Doom Skull. So if this was the +5 Doom Skull, then everything here, just like a standard explosion, would be exploded. I assume it only accumulates 70% mana, though I'm not certain on that. They haven't actually stated. But we do know it will explode everything around. So if it explodes, or if it works like how the current explosion mechanic works, you'll gain 70% of the mana of everything around that. So you'd gain like 1 or 2 yellow, 2 blue, 1 green, 1 red, all that kind of stuff, and of course, whatever else is in the area, or whatever cascades, of course. But yeah, that's basically Doom Skulls. +5 damage and explodes everything around them. Biggest issue with this is exploders. It is going to be ridiculously overpowered with Gorgolfa, Infernus, basically everything with the explode mechanic, Divine Isabella, Infernus plus Divine Isabella. Basically everything that's already amazingly good is just getting buffed even more when that mechanic comes. Also, do keep in mind, they're actually announcing it pretty early. It is indeed confirmed that it's not coming next patch. It's coming in 3.4. But they're already announcing it for whatever reason. 3.4 is like 2 months away or something, maybe even 3. They haven't even released 3.35 yet. So I'm not sure what's up with that. That or they're skipping a version, but... Oh! What? What just happened? We just lost. What? Okay, well that's unfortunate. Oh, I guess I just let him kill me now. Well then. That's what I get for being distracted. That was the hardest lose we got so far. Oh, that's bad. An awkward moment when your only damage source dies. Or at least your only realistic damage source. Technically we have 3 damage sources, so only one of them is a real damage source, and that's of course Guai. At least it wasn't a Valraven battle. Oh, I forgot the greens. Not forgetting it twice in a row. There we go. But yeah, Doom Skulls, I don't mind the mechanic coming in, but I feel like it's going to be too overpowered in the current state of Gems of War. But we'll see what happens with it. Because you have to keep in mind too, if it works like normal skulls, it hits through skull mitigation if it's exploded. It won't hit through skull mitigation most likely if it's taken manually from a swipe off the board. But if it is exploded, I don't believe skull mitigation will stop it. Because it doesn't with how skulls normally explode in Gems of War. What's actually kind of odd about that too, is at this current moment in time, even though you only accumulate 70% of the mana from exploding on the board, you gain 100% of all skulls exploded. So if that does indeed remain consistent with the Doom Skull, and there's like, let's say, 7 Doom Skulls on the board, you cast the Gorgultha, you just did 35 damage at minimum with a Gorgultha cast, which is a lot. That is a lot of damage. And that's just a single cast, plus you're getting all the mana and everything. You're getting all the explosion mana around it. So even if you're using smaller exploders, if you're using smaller exploders with something that can create Doom Skulls, well, then you pretty much have a larger exploder. Even if it's only something like 5 explosions, Infernos, you'll just be able to place Doom Skulls on the board, and then trigger him, and then trigger like 1 billion damage in one turn. But yeah, it's going to be super overpowered, most likely. At least in the state of Gems of War. It was a bit more balanced in Puzzle Quest, because you didn't have things that could just so easily destroy the board repetitively over and over and over again. And the things that were even able to do that, they had a long cooldown on them, because you had one single hero that had cast, so everything had a cooldown on it to make sure you couldn't do overpowered combos. But Gems of War has no cooldown. The only thing that has cooldowns are things that can only ever be cast once, but very few of those troops are ever even used, and very few of them even exist. But, yeah, it's going to be pretty unbalanced. We'll have to see exactly what happens with it, though. But it is going to be pretty unbalanced in the current state of the game. But we'll see exactly how it pans out. One thing that does balance it some is Doom Skulls, similar to all Skulls, would only ever be able to damage the first slot on the opposing team. So if there was ever a good first slot counter to it, that would be a really easy way to deal with it. But as I mentioned, not even things with skull mitigation are going to counter it, because you could just explode it for full value, most likely. So, yeah, it's going to be weird how it pans out, but we'll see. It's not really going to change the meta at all, really, which is kind of odd, because it's a pretty big mechanic. But the things that are already good are going to be good with the new mechanic, so it's not really going to change what's already used. It's just going to make what's already good even better, which is not a good idea, to buff what's already amazingly good. Though it wouldn't be the first time. They buffed Gloomleaf when it was already too good. They buffed Infernus when it was already pretty decent. Let's see. We'll go through that down. Get a Guai down. Oh, come on. Wow. I can't believe how much HP he gets during these battles. I'll throw it down again. Hello, Alan. So, hello, Max. Welcome, welcome. Do I have a Yarrow Fire Mantle on a team? I personally do not ever use Yarrow Fire Mantle because of how inconsistent he is. Also, once you have Infernus, you never actually need to use Yarrow Fire Mantle again. It's actually one of those weird instances where a troop just completely replaces out a different troop once you get it. But, oh, why'd I do that? That was a weird move. At least he's frozen on the color, but still. But yeah, I wouldn't really bother much with him, to be honest. There are some loop teams you can do. He's pretty good with Goblin Rockets and stuff, but there's so many other good teams that you could use with Goblin Rockets that you don't need to really bother specifically using him for that. Pretty much anything Alchemist Moneylender with a Goblin Rocket's good. Even that you could technically use with the Earl too if you really wanted to. Use it with the Alchemist Moneylender Goblin Rocket Earl and go down that route. Oh, you know what? That's something else that Doom Skulls would be pretty good with. Goblin Rocket. Yet another thing Goblin Rocket will be able to do pretty well. Because you can do a lot of weird board control with a instant extra turn explode that also has Doom Skulls on the board. Because you can then board control the Doom Skulls into the location you want, or simply just take them for a lot of damage, or explode them for a lot of damage. But yeah, it can make for some really interesting patterns, because you can do a double square, which hasn't been possible before. But you can do a double targeted square, because let's say, for example, this skull right here is a Doom Skull, and we hit right here. So, it's, well, maybe not a square shape, but we destroy all of these, but also all of these. So basically, this entire square, other than this green and that brown. And there is some cascade potential that you can do with that. It'll be really hard to spot, because that's a weird mechanic that I've never actually seen before. But yeah, you'd be able to destroy this whole shape right here. I wish I had like a highlighter to go and mark it on my screen. But yeah, it's basically this entire square except that gem and that gem in this instance. But yeah, that's really unique. Nothing currently has the ability to do anything even remotely close to that. But yeah, it will definitely open up a lot of cool things, Doom Skulls. I just feel like it's going to be too overpowered though. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of things they could do to balance it, too. It's not really going to be that hard to balance it. The problem is I don't think they're going to pre-balance anything for it. Though if they do, Infernus nerf, if it's ever going to come, it's going to come before Doom Skulls. If it comes after Doom Skull, they're crazy. Let's see. We'll go through that down. And there we go. Though, actually, that would be fun if it... You know what? Maybe they should keep it as is for Doom Skulls. Just so we could have 1 week of super overpowered Infernus. Not like he already isn't that way, but... That'd be really funny if they add Doom Skulls, but keep him exactly as is. Because he will literally become the best troop in the game. Right now, he's kind of like top 5. But he will be the absolute best if they add Doom Skulls. If they leave Infernus in the current state he's in, and add Doom Skulls, he will be the best troop in the entire game. Okay, we'll go through that down. Technically, their argument could be made that he already is the best troop in the entire game, in the current state of the game. I still would consider things more like Fair Shra and stuff to be that, though, even though I personally don't use them. The amount of time they save is just too valuable, a Fair Shra that is. What do we even need to move around? I guess we'll go take a red to red. Quit telling them to nerf things? Don't worry. They never listen to me. Normally when I tell, or whenever I say that, very, 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 very rarely will they actually do that. I said they should have nerfed Kraken when they added that 3 damage trait to it. That red trait that ends up doing 3 damage to all enemies. The biggest issue with that, too, is you never know what they're going to be adding into the future. So, even though something makes it seem strong right now, they may be adding something that is even stronger than that. And the overall power of the game will just keep going up and up. So, some things that could be considered ridiculously strong right now could end up becoming pretty weak or average, or probably just more towards average later on in the game. There has been many instances of that, where they didn't even touch a troop that used to be considered towards the stronger side, or even maybe even overpowered, or just, you know, towards the higher ends of damage and just efficiency. But then without touching it, just because of the increase in power in the overall game, it actually becomes more towards mid-tier over time. Yeah, we'll have to see. I just remember the reason why it worked in Puzzle Quest was the lack of accessibility to destroying the Doom Skulls. The biggest issue that it presents in Gems of War, bringing that exact same mechanic from Puzzle Quest, is it is way too easy to destroy skulls off the board compared to what it was able to do in Puzzle Quest. Let's see, what do we even need to move? We'll go take that over. How could you use Emperor Liang? With a loop team of any kinds. So things like Diviner and such. But any kind of loop team that you can create, or even just anything that can gain a lot of extra turns. And you use it basically as a mana generator using its final trait. I personally would not bother using Liang without its final trait, because its final trait is where it gets most of its value, actually. But yeah, pretty much just using a full-blown mana generation team, and then just going into 1 or 2 really big damage sources. It's one of the best ways to kind of use the troop. I personally don't care for it much, though. Liang, that is. It just doesn't really come into play more in most team competitions. And you're normally better off just putting a damage source in its place. You're not a fan of the Doom Skulls? I'm not a fan of how it's going to function as far as if it's going to be overpowered. But as far as the concept, I do like it. They were really fun in Puzzle Quest. I just feel like it's a little bit of a misplaced mechanic in Gems of War, at least in the current state of the game. They need to do some really major rebalances if they're adding that kind of mechanic. Well, we'll see exactly what happens. The other thing that will be a really big factor is, will granite skin, stone skin, all that kind of stuff, will it reduce the damage of Doom Skulls? Because if it doesn't, we're going to have a lot of problems as far as balance in the game. Because the whole entire balance is going to be use exploders or don't bother using anything. And that's going to be a really bad meta to have. We'll go through that down. It technically already is the meta, but it would just be enforced even more if they were to make that change. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, I should. Yeah, never mind. I didn't have alignment. For whatever reason, I thought that was aligned. The skull was in the way. Do we bother throwing it again? No. Go take the poke, throw this down, get like 2 more pokes at it. Not even aligned, but at least we get some mana. Oh, never mind. That's already enough damage. I keep forgetting how heavy it hits. It keeps overhitting. How close are we on the next reward? We're almost there. As I mentioned, I'll give out another redeem code once we hit the final reward. JZG, you're still in first by a pretty good margin. We're at 220,000. Oh, we ended up hitting back onto top 100. So yeah, we'll definitely be able to keep top 100 by the end of this week. So that'll be nice. Still have several battles too. We might actually get pretty high. I didn't even need to buy the extra 10. We ended up getting the extra 10 thingy. I definitely need to stop getting that. Next week, for sure, I'm only going to be going up to tier 6. I don't know why I keep buying tier 7. The first week it made sense because it was the first week. But this week, not so much. Oh, I know why. It's because I needed a few more copies. Oh, no, it wasn't. I still had to go do keys for that. I guess that's one of the slight reasons. I don't know. But, yeah, tier 6 for now on. I don't really need to do tier 7. I don't know why I keep doing it. Basically just wasting 200 gems. I can still make the top 100 without it most of the time, I think. Also, thank you for your subscribe, Felix. Much appreciated. I mean, Felix. Let's see. We'll move that down. If anyone has any questions or questions I may have missed, because I probably missed some questions, let me know. I'll go over them. Oh, is Zugoff, ever good, or is Zugoff that good of a troop to use? No. Well, for one, no one even has a Zugoff yet, I don't believe. And if they do, they're probably the only person in the entire game that does. But, yeah, as far as Zugoff, it's basically just a different version of Great Maul. Not a better version of Great Maul, just a different version of Great Maul. So, yeah, it's not really that needed. It's tied at the highest mana cost in the game, making it pretty clunky. Because it doesn't have mana generation, or at least it has skull spam, but it doesn't have mana generation on it. So it's not like a world breaker where you just keep getting the mana up. So technically, even though he's tied at the highest mana cost, he pretty much literally has the highest mana cost because he has no mana generation to go accumulate it back. But yeah, Zugoff in general, really not that good. For how expensive it is pretty weak actually, which I guess is technically a good thing. Because if they made it ridiculously good, as like a troop you absolutely needed for stuff, yet was almost near unobtainable, then that would be pretty bad, because no one would have it, and anyone who would be super overpowered compared to everyone else. But, yeah, I guess it's technically a good thing that he's horrible. But yeah, Zugof's basically horrible. There's no point in ever really using it. There's very few niche teams where you would ever bother bringing it out. And even in those instances, probably isn't even nowhere near worth it for how much it costs. It's basically just a special troop for people to get as a long-term goal. Just as a kind of vanity troop, just to say, hey, I have this. And just put it on your defend team to show it off. But, yeah, realistically, I would never... I'm still considering never getting a Zugof. I might eventually, just for completionist purposes, once orbs... We have so many orbs that we don't know what to do with them. But, I'd probably get 10-star all kingdoms before I bothering to get a Zugof. Because there really is no need for it. Yeah, we'll go through this down. Get another one down. And one poke will do it. And as that. Hello, Stick. Where are you? You're in Gems of War. You have found yourself over to Gems of War. Let's see. What do we even need? We'll go take that. Get a Guai down, and that's match. Dies off of that. And we're good to go. And on to the next battle. Yeah, they do definitely need to do something to raids to make it less repetitive once you reach this far into it. I still find it very, very strange game design-wise why you would make the final battle that you do the most amount of times the exact same battle every time. It's fair, but they should run at least some kind of rotation where it cycles like 10 different teams or something. It would still make it so everyone still gets the same team, but it would at least add some variation to it. Because right now it is way too repetitive, but the rewards are so good, or at least for late game, that I kind of have to take it like we have been every week. Not that many people have been going for it. I think only like a few hundred do. But for people that have the spare gems, it's definitely worth considering. For everyone else, not so much. I think tier 3 is where you would normally go if you're, or tier 2, actually, is where you would normally go if you're just looking to play the game mode but not go all out with it, to spend like a ridiculous amount of gems. You'd pretty much just go tier 2. I think tier 2 is like, what, 70 gems, 100 gems, something right around there. It's pretty low. You can easily get that in like an hour or so. What do we need to throw down? Also, thank you for your subscribe. I couldn't see that one for whatever reason, but thank you for it. Which mythic would you recommend crafting next? You have Infernus, Famine, Wordbreaker, Fairish Ra, Orpheus, Wolfgarrick, and Anu. Let's see. Yasmin's Chosen or Elamagrim. Probably Elamagrim, because both of those are things that can be ran during Guild War days. Yasmin Chosen tends to be Green Guild War, and oh, was the other one? Yeah, Yasmin Chosen tends to be Green Guild War, and Elamagrim tends to be Purple Guild War. You can also very occasionally get away with it on Red Guild War as well if you're running a dragon-related team. I don't know if I would go out of my way to craft them, though. Well, I guess if you have nothing else to do with them. But, I don't know. Personally, as far as actually crafting things, I feel like there are only a few things that are actually ever really, truly worth crafting. As far as mythics. Of course, if you're going for completionist, then basically everything's worth crafting. But, at this current moment, only, Fairish Ra, Infernus, and Wardbreaker would I really place as very worth crafting. Like things you would actually want to go out and seek. A good majority of other mythics are so situational that you wouldn't really need to craft them. Like you could if you wanted them, but they're mainly utility troops that you use very, very occasionally. They're not something you would necessarily go and use against every possible team you face. Whereas things like Fairish Ra, Wardbreaker, and Infernus, all three of those you could easily throw against basically everything in the entire game. What do we need to move around? Oh, we have nothing good to take. I might need to even go for silence this time around because we just have so few options. Luckily, he can't death mark that. Could you imagine if he could? We'd probably be dead so many times over. Also, really glad that he doesn't have enough scroll damage to double hit us. Normally, you would on this battle, but because Wraith has such a low attack, we actually get to survive, which is quite nice with 2 HP every time. If he had even one higher attack, we would die to it. So, actually quite perfect that he has exactly 54. If it was even one higher in any way, it would be enough to kill. And this doesn't even have Blessed. Oh, yes, it does. Never mind. Wait, why doesn't he sometimes get attacked then? Does Blessed not work when the enemy uses it? I know there used to be a glitch with it. It might still be like that. I forgot about that. Is that still a glitch? That's been a glitch for like over 2 years now. Like pretty much since traits got released. If that is still a thing. There's no way they haven't fixed that yet. I need to double check at the beginning of next battle to see what happens. If it doesn't trigger Bless, then yeah, that's been broken pretty much since it started. Which is weird. Anyways, let's go get a Yagway down. What top 5 legendaries should you craft? Pretty much none of them. The main reason is legends in the long term. If you're going for overall efficiency, if you're actually going for 100% completion in this game, as in like literally getting everything within the game, like if you're really dedicated to this game, I would actually never advise crafting any legend. Actually, there's only one legend I would say would be worth it then. In that case, it is Dragon Soul. But in every other instance, you should never really craft legends. Unless you super desperately want that troop. Mainly because you'd be much better off putting it towards Mythics, because eventually you're going to get that legend. You might not have it now, you might not have it in a few months, but you are eventually going to randomly pull that legend. Whereas with Mythics, it is very unlikely that you're randomly going to pull the Mythic that you want or need. But with legends, it's only a matter of time. Might be a couple months, but you are eventually going to pull it. Whereas with Mythics, you could never pull it. You could go and go for an entire year and not pull the specific Mythic you want. Yet if you do the same thing with Legend, you'll pretty much have every Legend in the game. So, yeah, it's not really too advised, I would say, to go for Legends. But if you are going to go for it, Dragon Soul is the absolute top one. As far as a few others that are pretty good, Divine Isabella, KrissTigger. Problem is a lot of them are situational during certain situations. Kraken, Queen Mab, Core Vash. It's kind of like the core troops that get used for pretty much everything. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them. Not in any specific order. But yeah, Dragon Soul is the only legend I would personally say. If you have 0 Dragon Souls, and you see a Dragon Soul craftable, and you have the ability to craft it, definitely do a Dragon Soul. But if you already have Dragon Souls, or any other situation like that, no, there really isn't anything worth crafting, I would say, underneath Legends. Maybe Divine Isabella, if you really wanted it, just because it is pretty nice, but with what it functions with. But it's more of a late game troop, and you'd probably already have it if you're in the late game area of the game, so you probably wouldn't even need to craft that. But yeah, Dragon Soul basically is the only legend worth crafting, I would say, and that's only if you have 0 Dragon Souls. I'll go through that then. And the main reason for that is just because it has ridiculously good damage, and it has soul gain on top of that. It saves you a lot of time overall. Not only does it make you win quicker, actually ridiculously quick, it's the quickest win you can get early on in the game, but it also has the soul gain, of course, which saves you time in the long run of farming souls, which also saves you a lot of time. Because normally a troop will only help you in one way or another, like either farming resources or winning quickly, which I guess is technically farming resources as well. But Dragon Soul is unique in that it does help equally both those categories. It both makes the battle quicker, and it also helps you farm resources. We'll throw another one down. Also, they buffed it in the most recent patch too. It seemed like they might have nerfed it, or they were like trying to go into a nerf, but they end up deciding to buff it instead. It's like, should we buff it or nerf it? Oh, let's go buff it. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, they gave it a different unique trait for its final trait, which is actually better than its previous trait. Or more often than not, it'll be better. Because they raised it from a 25% chance to a 50% chance, so it triggers more often. So yeah, that's basically what they did. Instead of it having 25% chance to revive itself, they gave it a 50% chance to create a baby dragon with full mana, which is actually a really cool mechanic. Yeah, I haven't been using Dragon Soul too much since they buffed it, but he is quite a bit better since the changes they made to him. It's not that big a deal. Obviously, his ability and everything's still the same, but at least his traits are better, because he was really commonly never traded because there wasn't any need to. But now, since they buffed the traits, it's a little bit better to do so. Still not the greatest of traits, but at least it improved. Well, a second Fairish Raw is very questionable if you ever need it. Personally, I would go for it, but you can get very close rates with one Fairish Raw, but you do need double Fairish Raw to get the max possible soul rates within the game, so do keep that in mind. So it is still viable to get 2 Fairish Raws. Don't, like, rush it, though. Well, I guess you could rush it. I don't know. It really depends how much you plan on doing the soul grind, and if you're planning on doing it soon or later down the line. Because, of course, the sooner you're planning on doing it, then yes, do rush the Fairish Raws. But if you're not planning on doing the soul grind for, like, maybe, like, another 6 months from now or something, you're not planning on doing it anytime soon, then you can wait on the Fairish Raws. You don't necessarily need to get them specifically, or at least not multiple of them. But I do advise eventually getting 2, because it is the quickest rates you can get for souls in the entire game. It's around 50,000 or so. I still need to go test that. Been meaning to for a while now. Problem is Bounty Hunter and all these other game modes keep getting in the way. They keep adding too many game modes. But yeah, the specific team is Dragon Soul, Double Fairish Raw, and an Umber Wolf. And it's that and Dragon Soul Triple Fairish Raw are both upwards of 50,000 souls per hour. Of course, you'd want to use the previous one, though, because it only uses 2 Fairish Raws, which is a lot easier to obtain. Well, not a lot easier, but, you know, 2 is easier to get than 3, that's for sure. That's why'd I do that. Yeah, let me go throw this down. I need to rush as much damage as we could possibly get. Yeah, we'll just move that over and poke it. I'm not going to trust it. Not giving it any chance to do anything, just in case. You never know what it might do. Ow. Oh, he better not kill that. If he kills that, we actually lose. Gotta be very careful around him. No alignment. Yes, we do have alignment. Never mind. Go grab that. Do I just go right into another cast? I'm tempted, but I'm gonna go for this instead. Got it. Nice. Yes, we did get alignment. Good. And that's matched then. Let me play it safe and just go straight into another poke, even if we don't have alignment. And never mind. It's already enough damage. And there we go. What about a team with just 1 Fairish Raw? That would be Dragon Soul. Dragon Soul, Fairish Raw, Azurus, and Umber Wolf is what it would come out to. You would need Umber Wolf fully traded. You could also go double Azurus fully traded. If you have neither of those, you could just go with a standard, like, any Necromancy in the entire game. Ooh, 14 times Tribute. But yeah, I don't have it set up at the moment, but let me go put it in. Oh no, which one's the Dragon Soul? That's funny. Good thing I pretty much know where it lands every time. Anyways, that's pretty funny. I don't think I've ever seen it happen to all 8 of them before. But anyways, what was I doing? Dragon Soul, Umber Wolf. Oh yeah, I forgot. Too many things have the word number in it. And Azurus. Yeah, this is the best possible team you can build with only 1 Fairish Raw. And the best you can build with only with 0 Fairish Raws is Dragon Soul, Double Azurus, Umber Wolf. It's actually pure of the exact same color. But yeah, this would be the best team with only 1 Umber Wolf. I mean, with only 1 Dragon Soul. It's Fairish Raw fully traded, Azurus fully traded, and Umber Wolf fully traded, with a Dragon Soul with no traits, or traded if you want, but it's not mandatory. Only these 3 being traded is the required ones. Of course, if you don't have Umber Wolf, you can just go double Azurus. fully traded. And if you don't have either of those options fully traded, you can just go any necromancy like warlock or something. Doesn't have to necessarily be this. But yeah, this is around 30,000 souls per hour, I want to say, around that general ballpark. And you just do it in first challenge of Indian Fields on Warlord 2 difficulty, as you would with everything. Oops, that's not the right one. But yeah, first challenge of Indian Fields, Warlord 2. And just triple cast it, and there you go. It's about 30,000 per hour. Russian bears. We're being hacked by Russian bears. Let's see. Okay, we'll just go move that over. I know we don't need it, but it's because we don't need almost everything, and there's no point in really getting Ferishraz's mana up. The only one that matters is Dragon Soul. Unfortunately, all of his mana is nowhere to be seen. There we go, grab that. Take the other one. And now we get to start rolling, because we get the Purple Storm, we get the purples to drop down. And now we just get to go crazy with it. Actually, I didn't even need to cast that. That was actually a waste. You don't need to cast Ferishraz at all in this battle. I don't know why I did it, but there we go. But yeah, you can win easily over once per minute, and this gives 420 souls, maybe more towards 400 or something with lower VIP and such. But yeah, it's definitely pretty decent for souls, around 30,000 or so per hour, approximately, give or take a few thousand. But yeah, that's the best team you could do with only one Ferishraz. It's pretty decent. Back to the Bounty Hunter. And, oh, next redeem code coming soon, TM. We're almost there. I think that's 2 more battles, right? Yes, 2 more battles, and we will be into the final reward. So we'll see exactly what we get from that. Hopefully another blue orb. That'd be amazing. I've never gotten 2 major orbs in one day of the same color. We'll let him skull us. We took that so I could take a brown now. Oh, it didn't even surge though. That's unfortunate. I guess I'll take another brown then. Well, there goes that. Of course, I would get that thing to full mana as soon as that thing dies. A little late. Him dying first or sooner would have been a lot more convenient. We're starting to miss way too many times. At least this isn't a Valraven battle. It's going pretty bad so far. Okay, let me get silence down. I feel like I'm underusing that silence way too much. Because it is pretty useful to have as a utility. Alright, we'll go throw that in there. It misses, but it does give us the board we need, I think. Yes, it does. Or at least he helps us give it to us. There we go. Do I bother killing that out? Yes. No, it's 1 damage short. I didn't realize he reduced it that much. Well, that's bad. That is really bad. 1 HP. What a waste. Okay, there we go. At least we got a skull to go kill him out. That was a fail, though. I didn't realize he reduced the magic that much. I assumed we would still have enough damage. Oops, I took a skull when we were frozen. What else do we need? Guess we throw this down and hope it lands. Good. That gives us the alignment never mind. No alignment. Really? Okay, we'll go cascade all that then, I guess. Still no alignment. We'll throw it down again. There we go. Now we have alignment. Go grab that in there. Take us several hits, but we'll get it down. Oh, that kind of missed. We'll get another one in there. And 2 more, we'll do that. Down goes that. Take that little bit of mana. See if we can get anything else here. Double hit will... Oh, actually, we need 3 hits. 2 or 3, depends on what we end up getting here. End your turn. End your turn. Well, there goes all the alignment. Actually, there goes almost my entire team. It's 1 versus 1 now. She could actually win. If I'm not careful. Yep, she could actually win. 2 more skulls and she wins. That's very unlikely to occur, but it can happen. And there it goes. Yeah, that can happen. There are people that go like 2 hours with 0 arcane sometimes. It has happened to people. I've heard it many times before. But on average, you do get like 10 arcanes per hour or so. If you can win 3 times every minute, it comes out to, yeah, about 10 arcanes per hour, approximately. Give or take a few. But, yeah, it is possible to go an entire hour without getting one. It's even, technically, if you're really unlucky, it is possible to go like 2 hours without getting one. Though, realistically, you should be getting 10 per hour, give or take a few. Oh, so why'd I take that? What do we need? Red to red. Actually, let me get silence down again. I don't want these things going crazy. Oh, oops! Valraven's on the enemy team. What am I doing? I need to rush them down. I didn't even see that thing there. Really important that we get it down. Or start getting our mana looping. Okay, there we go. We're good to go now. Got everything we pretty much need. Throw this down. Nice. Get down again. Repeat it again. Oh, we missed, but we should have Guai alignment. Okay, now we can start heading into the Valraven. Exactly what we need. Unfortunately, the yellow goes directly in them now. Actually, it already did go directly in them. So I guess that hasn't changed at all, because the 2 troops in front of it weren't blocking it. There we go. Get a Guai in there. Hopefully have alignment on this. Nice. And that's match. There we go. Oh, that's actually enough to kill, too. I didn't even need to do that extra little bit. Or maybe I did, because of boost ratio. But there we go. 2 more sigils. And we're back up to 10 battles. So right here would actually be our final battle then. We would technically have been done at this point if we didn't get that extra pack. So with that being said, if we did not get the extra pack, we would still very easily be able to make top 100. So yeah, I should stop getting it. Because there was no need to go get it. We'd still be top 100 without it, most likely. Because this is where we would be if we didn't buy this pack once. If we just went to tier 6 and nothing else. Let's see, how much further do we have? We might actually be able to make top 20. If we do, oh no, that might be worth it. We might legitimately be able to make top 20. Assuming most of these people have used all their battles, which is, there's no way to check that. Plus, they could just get more if they, even if they have used every battle. But, yeah, we might be able to make top 20. I might try for it. I'm not sure. We get a whole nother orb out of it. I don't think I'm going to bother putting any more resources into it. But, yeah, let's try winning out every single one. Might be able to make top 20 with it. That'd be really cool. And then we'll get 2 orbs on Monday. Plus, we get some more of our gems back. It's only 50 more, but still. That's 50 more gems than we would have had. But yeah, let's go. Oh, and we also got the final reward thingy. Let me go give out a redeem code then. Also, please give me a blue orb. Oh, and also there's 20 gems back of all the gems we spent. Come on, something good. Blue, purple, purple. There we go. We got both the 2 best drops today. Oh wait, did we just get perfect RNG again? We did. Did they have something? Is anyone else getting like perfect RNG on them too? Or have you guys been getting different luck? Because I've actually gotten exact perfect luck on orbs so far. Well, not perfect luck, but you know, I've gotten perfect drop rate. I got 2 greens, I got 2 blues, I got 2 orange, and now we got 2 purple. Is anyone else getting this too, or are we just like exact drop rate or something? I've never actually seen something drop so perfectly to the actual drop rate before. But yeah, we're actually at exact perfectness. We're at 2, 2, 2, and 2. The reason this says 5 there is because you got 3 for free from invasion slash raids. So that's where those are from. But yeah, we only got 2 actual drops from chaotic orbs. But yeah, we're 2 on each one of them. No, we're just lucky. Yeah, that's weird. 2 of each major orb. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess technically it's a good thing. It's better than getting 13 orbs of wisdom. Could you imagine if we had like 7 major orbs of wisdom and like 1 of the other ones? That'd be so depressing. But luckily that's only happening to my smaller ones. Too bad that wasn't to the blue or something. But yeah, that's pretty funny. 2 down the line. Oh, 2 major growths. Yeah, I got 2 major growths too, but they were from an even split, so it's not as bad. Yeah, we're at perfect luck on it. Or perfect drop rate, whatever you'd call that. I think there's a proper name for it. I don't know what that is, though. When you're, like, perfectly at the exact drop rate of something. Is there a term for that? Does anyone know what the exact term for that is? I'm almost guaranteed there's a word for it. I just don't know what it is. There's some kind of statistics term for what that is. But I don't know what it is. Anyways, if anyone knows, let me know, because that'll bother me for the rest of the stream until I figure that out. Anyways, let me go give out the redeem code. And then we'll just be messing around with the rest of raids, and then moving on to just messing around in PvP. And if you do guys have anything you want me to go use in PvP, or have team questions or suggestions, or need up building teams or anything, just let me know. And we'll definitely make sure to do so. Oh, can you find a good Hydra team? And what team? Oh, Hydra you get from the Wild Plains Kingdom, and is generally considered useless, mainly because it's way too difficult to use effectively. Not because it's not that the difficulty of it makes it I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but basically bottom line, the biggest problem with Hydra and why it never gets used is you have to deliberately damage it in order for it to be viable. And in deliberately trying to damage it, you are just making it go into basically one-shot range for the enemy to easily destroy it. So it is commonly considered a really bad troop, because its amount of boost ratio isn't really that huge for how big of a risk you have to set it at. If it was to ever be buffed to like a 3x boost ratio, then it would probably be used. But in its current state with only a 2x boost ratio, it's much more effective in most situations to use a Rowan instead. Even though Rowan's only an epic that you get for free from Fars of Thorns, it tends to be better in essentially every situation compared to a Hydra. And I would not really advise using Hydra just because of its risk. But yeah, you get it from Wild Plains, is the kingdom where that thing resides, if you ever see it on an event and you want to go get it. But yeah, I would not bother doing it. Streamer bonus confirmed. The term is Surian's favorite. No, it's not. Anyways, back to... Oh yeah, redeem code. Let me go do that real quick. Almost forgot. Let me go do that. Let's go get it up. You think I will craft a Zugoff boss in 2035? No, I'm probably going to craft it early on in 2019. So next year, sometime. Because by then, enough orbs... We would have accumulated enough orbs that we probably will have an excess to such a degree that I might go for it. But at this current moment in time, I have no interest in creating a Zugoff, that is for sure. It's just a waste of orbs that we'll be using for 10-star kingdoms. It's way more effective using them for 10-star kingdoms, as well as 9-star kingdoms if we really wanted to, than it is to use them for a Zugoff. I do eventually want to have it, just for completionist sake, but since 0 people, literally 0 people, have it at the moment, there's really no rush in it. Even probably like 6 months from now, only about, probably under 100 people will own the troop. Okay, let's go replace this out, make sure it works. Double check that I actually marked it. Oops, I just clicked copy instead of paste, didn't I? That's not good. Hopefully... Oh, no, it did the right one. Okay, let me go double check that this works, and then I'll go hand out a redeem code for everyone. And that'll be the last one for today. Click that I'm not a robot. Why is it loading so slow? Come on, YouTube. I mean, this is even YouTube. Come on, Chrome. Just trying to check if I'm a robot or not. It's still loading. It might not... It can't identify if I'm a robot or not. There we go. And it's successful. Okay. So let me go put this into the interface. Go put it into chat. And we'll be good to go. Let me go put that below me. Put that over in the thing as well. And there we go. Center that just a little bit. Click OK. And there's the code, everyone. Let me go put it into chat as well for everyone just to copy and paste it. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code for any of you that want to go use it. You use it on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. And it gives the normal reward, as always, of true treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. And your, whatever your game says right there. And the redeem code is obviously the one below and the one over to the right over there that I just copy-pasted into the chat. What was I doing again? Oh, yeah, and claiming this. Get this, and as I said, 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And that will be the last code for today, unfortunately. But do make sure to go use it. Only works on PC mobile, though, so do keep that in mind. It unfortunately does not work on console. Also, we got a random unicorn. Nothing good there. I'm waiting until we just randomly pull a mythic out of it. But anyways, there we go. We're actually done with all the rewards. The only reason to play this game mode now would be to get leaderboard status. So with that being said, I think I will keep going because might as well. We got the 10 battles, might as well play them. But yeah, let's see if we can actually make top 20 with it. I sure hope so. We have a pretty solid chance. Assuming we don't lose a single one, and we also get 0 Val Ravens, so let's just assume both. We lose 0, but we also get 0 Val Ravens, or maybe we do lose some, but we at least get a Val Raven that makes up for those losses. Let me see what that brings it down to. Let me get a calculator out real quick. Come on, even the calculator's taking forever to load. I think I just need to restart my computer later. Like, as soon as the stream ends. Let's see, times this by... Oh, did I seriously just do the math to try to times this by 10? That's obviously 46,000. So what's 46,000 plus whatever we have now? That is essentially 300,000 or so. So we will be in 15th place if we go and use everything we have. Plus we'll have tomorrow's 4 battles. But yeah, that is top 20. Which means for only 150 gems, we were able to buy 1 orb. Which is pretty bad, because more often than not, we're going to lose resources from that orb. Because to break even, we would have to get a purple orb, and to profit, we'd have to get a blue orb. If we got a green orb or an orange orb, we would actually lose resources from getting this orb. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll get a blue one, because anything else is pretty pointless. Which is one of the reasons why I'll only be going to tier 6 from now on. I don't know why I even went to tier 7 this week, to be honest, but yeah, at least we make top 20 because of it, or at least hopefully we will. We'll find out by the end of the week for sure. But let's play them out. Let's hopefully get a bunch of Val Ravens and actually kill those Val Ravens, because that will improve our score even more. But I'm definitely not throwing down another pack, that's for sure. There's no reason to. It wouldn't be worth it just for the 1 orb. Oh yeah, that thing's about to die. Luckily it has 2 HP to barely survive. Actually, I don't even know that it is a good thing that it barely survives, because it kind of would be good if it died out so it wouldn't block our browns. Also, I really wish this team used purple. The trip coming in next week won't even allow us to use purple. It's going to be a while before we can start using purple realistically in Bounty Hunter. He tries draining the thing with immune to drain. Good job, AI. Very smart AI right there. We'll go and throw that down again. It's always funny when the AI specifically goes out of its way to devour something that has immune to devour, or drain something that has immune to drain. Like, there'll only be one thing on the entire enemy team that has it, yet it'll be the one that it targets. It's pretty funny. It doesn't always do it, but you know, it's always pretty facepalm worthy when it does. It's like it has a whole entire team to choose from, and it chooses the only one that it won't work against. We'll go through that there. And we do have alignment, so we'll go for that. Get our damage down. Get that back down again. Gems are overrated. Oh, there are quite a few things that gems do get used for these days. Let's see. Gorgoltha? Or I assume that's Gorgoltha. Ragnagord, Infernus, and Queen Mab. Yep, that would end up working as a pretty decent team. I don't personally use Gorgoltha Ragnagord too much these days, mainly because it's a bit too much mana generation. You're normally better off just putting another damage source onto the team or something else. But, yeah, it still works out. Oops, why did I do that? We could have already won. And down it goes. I tend to not use Queen Mab when invading these days either anymore. Not that she's bad at invading, it's just I like using her more as like a defend troop just to disable. Ever since they added Mana Shield having immune to her damage, it's not something that you can throw against everything in the game. While you still can use her against most things, anything that has like Impervious and such are really, really good against her, because she can't even touch anything with Impervious. She can't freeze them, and she can't Mana Burn them, meaning she can't do anything to them other than gaining herself her own extra turn. So, that's one of the big things really holding her back, I feel like. I generally try using Queen Titania if I'm specifically building an invade team. Whereas defend team, I tend to prioritize Queen Map more. But yeah, she's still a really decent troop. I just don't personally use her much these days. At least invade-wise. Defend, she could still be plopped into basically every defend team in the game and still function properly. Similar to how Famine used to be used in pretty much every defend team, though not anymore because he got nerfed. Now someone could just go pure mana drain immunely and then just completely negate it. So where are all the Val Ravens? We need more Val Raven. Give us the Val Ravens. Do we even bother for the silence? No. Because he's just going to do something useless most likely. So we'll just go silence that. Get the double silence going. For whatever reason, it doesn't silence him, even though he doesn't have immune to it, which is weird. It just doesn't like to say... this. I don't know what's up with Parrot, but it does not like to do what the card says. It'll do everything aside from what the card specifically says it does. It says it'll silence the adjacents at a 50% chance, but it doesn't do that. It does really weird kind of formations, and it can even silence the entire enemy team if it feels like it sometimes. I have no clue specifically what triggers it, but it does just randomly feel like doing that sometimes. It's really weird. It's based on what target you specifically go for, but I don't know why it doesn't always consistently do it when you do it based on that target. Because I believe before, when you did it on first slot, it would actually silence the entire enemy team, but now it doesn't do that for whatever reason. Okay, what do we even throw down? How does this have 3 HP? Where did the extra HP come from? Wait, hold up. How does that have 1 higher HP? We have to have done something that gave it exactly 1 HP. Oh, no, never mind. He has a higher attack. Or no, he doesn't. Oh, he probably took it 4 times. He took an extra turn. No, but then that would be 1 less HP, not 1 more. Wait, seriously, how does he have 3 HP? Oh, no, that would have lowered our HP if he would have done something. Everything would have lowered it. Seriously, how does he have 1 more HP than normal? Did we, like, mitigate literally 1 damage? It's a new feature. Parrot does whatever Parrot wants. That'd be pretty cool if that was a mechanic. It's basically what Mongo is. Oh. Ooh. That's actually quite dangerous. We could still win with just Yagway. It's a lot better than Yagway dying, but still, that is, not good. Well, at least we got a bunch of purples on the board. And he didn't ruin it either, but it's only, 1 troop left. So, yeah, we gotta win with just the Yagway. It's definitely doable. Though, not if he keeps doing that, it won't be. I don't have any alignment, and I really want it before I cast. Because I give him way too much value if I don't. Do I take this first? Or do I take this one? I take this one because we have the yellow extra turn chance. Didn't get it though. But I guess we'll grab that red, get a little bit extra HP. It's not going to be enough to kill it, but Yagway... Oh, wait. Forgot that. Go grab that. Yeah, if we can kill Fairish Ra, we win. Don't do it. Okay, we should be fine. Biggest thing I need now is to take enough reds to survive a skull poke. Oh! I can't look. We lost. Because he's going to take a skull. There's only one way we win. Oh, that's bad. I need to either cascade into an extra turn right now. Or I need to take that skull and hope we get a skull. That's the only way we win. Otherwise, we actually lost this battle. Yeah, that's the only way we really can go. Take the skull, hope we get a skull right there, and if we don't, we lose. There's a 1 in 7 chance we win. Otherwise, we lose. And it's based entirely on if there is a skull right there. That falls down. Because if I take this, it obviously gives him a skull. Also, there's one other chance. We could get triple blue. Triple blue would also save us. Though that's a lot less unlikely than getting a single skull. Yeah, Yagway's not enough damage. We don't have any alignment. Actually, let me calculate out. What is his exact damage right now? He is at... that is 12. No, 13. Right? 13. Let's see, 10... Yeah, 13. He has 13 additional damage. That brings him up to a total damage of 61, which is obviously not enough. Ah, we're dead. No! Oh, well. Well, now we definitely need to kill that Val Raven. If we find one. Hello, Anarchy. Welcome. Okay. Well then. Nothing good to take off this board. I guess we'll take a blue. And it drains my parrot. No. I needed that parrot. Luckily, that thing has full mana, so we can just do that now. He didn't bother trying to drain the one that has full mana. Oh, it makes the same sound that Umberwolf does. I just realized that now. I don't know how, I just noticed it now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the exact same noise Umberwolf makes when it casts. I think it's a bit fainter than him, though. Oh, you know what it might also be? It might be the same sound that Warhound makes. Or is that more of a growl? I forget. Whatever it is, it's a repeated sound. Most sounds are repeated, though. Unless it's like a legend or something. More often than not, most of the smaller troops just have the exact same... Oh, why? Valraven in 3rd slot. I guess that's better than 4th slot, but still, that's one of the worst locations for it. At least with our current team. With what we're up against. Do I give him blue? I'm tempted just to give him blue so we can take our mana that we need. Oh, no, I'm not gonna do it. I tried for the Cascade, didn't get it, though. So we'll go take a red to a red. Even though there's no second red yet. There we go. And hopefully this doesn't miss. Nice. Problem is it's not enough mana. Okay, we get an extra turn there, but it's not really going to do much. So I'm going to go for the double Cascade and see if we can get something out of it. And we don't, but oh well. I didn't deliberately go for the extra turn because it wasn't really going to do anything. We had no follow-up even if we took the extra turn. But we'll go throw that down. Speaking about no follow-up, we'll go grab that, throw Guai down. Okay, I think we'll be able to kill the Raven this time around. Looks pretty promising right about now. Go move that over. And then we'll go take that. Get a Guai in there. And now we can start hitting the thing finally. Oh, and we got alignment. Perfect. Throw that down again. Nice. Should have another Guai. Yes, we do. Perfect. And there we go. Dead. Perfect. Okay, that worked out really smoothly. Which is good because this was a Valraven battle. Which is the most important battles. Because they basically count as 3 battles. One is the normal battle that you're playing. And the other 2 battles is if you actually kill the thing. Because if you lose it, that's basically 2 losses right there. How many legendary tasks should be doing a week? I think my guild normally does around 30 or so, I want to say. Have had some people slacking on gold lately, though. Not sure what to do about them. But, yeah, generally it's around 30 or so. Most late game guilds do, I would assume, around that general amount. But yeah, anything more than 10 legendary tasks per week is pretty decent. Really, even just completing out every single task every week, even if you're barely doing any legendary tasks, is still pretty decent. Legendary tasks don't give a particularly high amount of resources, unless you get really lucky with them. Good majority of their drops are pretty bad. At least relative to how much gold it costs. But of course, everyone's getting it. It technically only comes down to like, what, 33,000 gold per person? Or something like that. So if you break it down like that, it's actually pretty cheap. But if you look at it from like the overall gold kind of standpoint, it's pretty expensive for only for 1 million gold. But since everyone's getting it, then it's kind of worth it. Do we have another Guai? No, we do not. Let's go throw that down. Now we get another Guai. And now we should be good to go. Go get this down again. One more Guai in there. He leaves the alignment. Perfect. Oh, even better alignment. Even better. Even better. Better alignment makes even better. And no. Okay, I kind of needed that. Well, not really. I need to take 2 reds now. Is he really going to make me go out of my way just to take a red? Yes, so I need to go cast that. That kills him out. We kill him out off of that ability. Feels really weird, but there we go. And now we just double Guai and that's match. Or I think that's enough damage. Let's just assume it is. Yes, it is. I wasn't going to bother calculating it out. I knew it was somewhere around enough. And there we go. On to the next one. Yes, we collected a reward, and the redeem code below is the other redeem code from it. But yeah, we already claimed the final reward for the thing. Right now, we're just doing it for leaderboard purposes. Because I bought too many packs. But yeah, for now on, I'm not going to be buying that final pack thingy. We're just going to go up to tier 6. There's no need to go to tier 7. Especially since even less people this time around are doing Bounty Hunter than the first time around. So it's even easier to make the leaderboard than it was the first week. And I'm pretty sure next month it'll be even easier than what it is now. Because less people will bother trying to go all the way for it. Or then again, probably the same amount of people doing it this week would probably be next week. Because it probably stabilized. Because everyone first week was like, ooh, good new game mode, let's go play it. But now it's like, okay, game mode already existed, they already know what it is and all that, so probably less people wanting to play it this time around. Or at least play it as much. Yeah, we'll go take this. I don't think it'll drain us. Okay, he actually went for the HP there to take out the barrier. A little annoying. Luckily, he didn't really get much done. Oh, there goes his HP buff. We don't have alignment either, which is really bad. I need to go and silence something on his team. I think Fair Shra is actually the biggest threat at this point. So we'll go get rid of that. Also, we're not killing it anytime soon anyways. Get a Guai in that. I think it's so much HP. That's 20% too, so it's just ridiculously high stats. Everything about it's huge. There we go. Get another one in there. Actually, probably should have taken some of those reds, but luckily it extra turned, so we're all good. I might kill them both at the same time, at this rate. I'll take that red just to get it out the way. I know it makes our chance of aligning a little bit lower, but I wanted that little bit extra bit of damage. Probably shouldn't have taken it. But oh well. We'll go for another poke. Now if we just hit him with anything, we kill it, and there we go. And now we win. There really isn't any way he could win from here. Or at least not realistically. It is technically possible though, if he gets enough skulls, luckily enough. We'll take that red over, get it down one more time, and that should give us alignment. No, not enough mana though. The mighty convert of all the purple it doesn't need. But we need it, kind of. We use it for convert, we don't actually use it for mana though. There we go, finally. And let's get a Guai into that. And down it goes. And that be that. Okay. On to the next one. You got a major orb of clans. That's pretty nice. This was the most recent one we ended up getting, or for last one. We actually got the best 2 drops too when we opened them. We got major orb of clans and we got the ascension orb thingy. The major orb of ascension. So we got the best 2 possible drops, which was nice. Hey, we actually landed the extra turn. I didn't take it the other way because obviously we're frozen on brown, so it was pointless to take it the other way. Did we try for double green? Double green into a red would be amazing. No, of course we didn't get it. That would have taken quite a bit of luck to actually land. Okay, he'll kill that out, which actually helps us. It's kind of amazing that losing a troop actually makes it easier to win. Alright, I'll move that down. Throw this down to get alignment. Get the Guai down. And keep doing that until we win. Move that over. Get this down again. See if we have Guai alignment. No, we do not. Yes, no, we do not. Never mind. Ideally, we'll get a cast here into a 5 times green. We have no free turn, though, so we have to go and waste it. Now we do. And yeah, we'll go for another one of those. Get that rolling down. See if we can get a poke in there. And what else do we need? I guess we'll throw another poke. Get that rolling. Get the alignment. And dead. What happens to extra event points after you claim the board? You're 458 now. Wait, what happens to extra event points? What do you mean? Oh, those things, nothing happens. You mean these things over here with the little event gems, which I haven't even bothered doing yet. But it'll be pretty easy to go and get these done. But yeah, any excess in these do absolutely nothing. Once you have claimed, or once you've reached whatever the final one is, so once we hit 300, we don't get anything extra from all the subsequent ones. They do not roll over, and you do not get anything from them. So they basically become pointless. The main reason for this is just to make sure they don't give like infinite resources, because some weeks are pretty exploitable in how much you can grind these. So they just have it to a set amount. But yeah, doing excess of these does absolutely nothing. Once you have completed it, you get the full amount of reward. You cannot get any further than that. It's mainly to make it non-intimidating so that people don't feel like they have to keep going into it. Because if they had it going infinite, like to 1,000 or to 2,000 or to 5,000 or something, people might feel obligated, like, get to 2,000 and you get 5 VIP keys. Obviously, if it was something like that, everyone would want to go and do it. And if people don't have time for something like that, they'd feel bad that they wouldn't be able to do it. So yeah, they don't have it set up like that. But yeah, you don't get anything from additional event gems, unfortunately. And they don't roll over, so whatever you do in 1 week will not carry over to the following week at all. Yeah, just mainly just an objective to do each week. And once you do it, you don't get anything extra afterwards. You still get to keep accumulating them, but the thing you accumulate are basically pointless. They don't do anything once you've already gotten all the rewards. At least on that given week. Of course, it resets every week. What do we need to move around? I don't have any reds I could go take. Don't have green either. I guess we just take a yellow and silence. Oh, but never mind. He has Valraven. Well, I guess that still stops him from taking yellow, if nothing else. Do I even go for it at this point? I want a brown surge, but even that's not enough mana. I definitely want him to skull us. I'm not sure which one's the bigger threat at this point. I think Ferrishraz, so we'll go for that. We'll take the brown. Oh, we're frozen. Hello. Never mind. Should have just taken the 3-pair into a surge. At least that way we could add 1 more mana on that. Well, speaking about 1 more mana, let's go grab that. Throw the green. Hopefully this doesn't miss. Of course it just pure misses. Good job. Well, I'll go move that over. Take another one. Get this down. We landed the extra turn. Did not get any of the mana we needed, though. So we'll just let him take a skull. Wow, he got a lot of value there. We'll go grab that. Please don't miss again. Okay, we didn't miss, but again, we're not getting the mana we need. We keep landing it, but it's not giving us the reds. At this point, I might as well just go get Guai up. Manually off of green. Okay, I need to go stop him from doing what he's about to go do. So we'll go do that, so he doesn't have alignment. And we don't have a cascade for that, do we? No, we did not. We'll try for it off the sky. Didn't get it. Did we go for this? We did not get full mana, though. I think we just go into Guai and go from there. That does give him a free red, though. And there's no way I can drop it. Oh, wait, yes we can. No, we can't. Never mind. The thing's in the way. Do I give him 4 times red? He doesn't actually use red, so I guess that's fine. There we go. Okay. And now we can finally start doing some damage to it. About time. That took forever to start getting rolling. He's still nowhere near dead yet, though. We still need like 3 more casts. But there's 1 on an extra turn. And now we just need 2 more. There we go. Next one. Perfect. And that's match. Or at least we got the Valraven dead. Not actually match yet, but pretty close. Please get a barrier on him so we don't die. Don't you dare aim at it, Ferrishraz. Good, he didn't. And that's match. We win. Let's move that over. Throw Guai down. And now all we have to do is poke it with anything. Oh, I could have just killed it with a thing. Oops. And down it goes. There we go. Claim our 2 Valravens. And that makes up for the 1 loss earlier. And we still have 6 battles left, and we're at 285. Oh, we're almost rank 20 for the first time. We are 1 battle away from rank 20 plus. Very close. But yeah, then we get 2 orbs and some of our gems back. But still, not really that worth it. It's 150 gems for 1 orb. That better be a blue orb. We'll find out on Monday. Whatever our second orb is on Monday is what we get. I need to make sure I don't accidentally open it. Last month, when the event came over, I accidentally opened it up on Monday in the morning. But I'll try to keep it for the video so that I don't accidentally open them. That or I'll screenshot it if I do on accident. But yeah, we'll open that on next Monday video when we go over next week's event. Because obviously that's the earliest we can open them. Anyways. Let's go and keep going. We still have 6 battles left and another 4 tomorrow. Should you save event keys for next week or use them now? Well, what's next week's event? Next week's event, I don't believe there's anything you would throw it at specifically. Next week's event is Adana. There's nothing particularly good in Adana that you'd want to get. So, oh wait, is the new legend coming? No, there's nothing new coming in next week. The next time you would need to go use event keys is April 23rd. So, not next week, but the following week is the next time you'd most likely want to use event keys. Because that's Silver Glade. So you'd end up getting KrissTigger, you'd end up getting a new legend that's coming out. The new legend does destroy a row, deal magic +2 damage to all enemies, boosted by brown gems destroyed. So, interesting. An AoE that does a row destroy. I believe that's the first of its kind. Even though both of those mechanics exist, they don't exist together. As far as its traits, it has immune to entangle, 33% skull reduction, and its unique trait is all beast allies gain 2 attack and 4 life on 4 times and 5 times gem matches. That has potential. That definitely has potential. A trait that allows you to basically buff up all of your dragons. That is, I mean, not dragons, all of your beasts. Though that would be cool if they made a dragon version of something like that. Well, actually, they technically do. The Dragon Guard class already does that. But, yeah, pretty nice. Basically, Beast is getting another version of it. Obviously, using that with a fully traded Forest Guardian with various teams might be decent. Is it considered a war gear too? Wait, it might be. 1 second. Oh, no, it's not. It's an elemental beast. That would have been amazing if it was a war gear beast. Because that would have made war gear slightly better. Yeah, war gears still need a buff. We really need a few more good war gears so that Wolf Gear can finally be viable. He's been kind of doing nothing forever because of the lack of good war gears in the game. The Rashkas have the exact same problem too. Except they have even less supporting troops. They just keep creating these troop types and then never giving those troop types anything good to work with. And eventually we're going to get them in Invasion, and it's like, what on earth are these troop types that are so useless? Because there are a lot of them that are just pure, completely, 100% no options whatsoever. But yeah, opening event keys for Fairish Ra this week is definitely decent value. The only real big issue with that is the specific chance of getting a mythic off of event keys is pretty low. It's the same as gem keys, but you have to keep in mind that a lot of the drops that you're getting when you're opening event keys are things you don't really need. It's only stuff from whatever the current kingdom is. And in this case, it's Kedar, and Kedar has very few viable troops. And the few troops that it does have viable there don't really need Ascension. Like, Keeper of Souls doesn't need to be ascended. Azurus doesn't need to be ascended. And, well, those are the main two, but still, there's not that many good drops from the kingdom. There's that, and Bone Dragon, pretty much, and of course, Fairish Ra himself, which is the main drop everyone's trying for. I don't know, personally, after I would open a few hundred, I would probably give up on trying to get a Fairish Ra if you didn't get in your first couple hundred. Going anything further than that, just going to start burning through too many resources. You got a Fairish Ra from 2 event keys. That is insanely lucky. And that is definitely possible. The approximate drop rate is around 1 in 1,000. But it is definitely possible to pull it in only a few. Which is why so many people are bothering to even do it. Because it's a lot cheaper. Let's say you pull it and let's say it even takes like a 200 gem or event keys. Which is still above average. But let's say it takes 200 event keys. That is a lot cheaper than using 4,000 diamonds for it. Let's see. We'll go through... Did we go for that? Yeah, we'll go for it. We have alignment. Might as well. Why not? Pick that over. Throw this down. And see what we can do from there. Not much. We'll go get that in there. Get a poke. See if we can get this rolling. Get another cast down and dead. And we are now, for the first time ever, actually I think we were in the previous battle as well, but we are now in the top 20 for the first time. We're not going to be trying to go all the way, obviously. We're not going to be bothering for number 1 or anything like that. Actually, JZG, you're still there, by the way. You're going to be there for a while. You have like a 120,000 lead off a second. Pretty solid lead at the moment. But, yeah, at least we're here. How far would we have to go to get a slightly better reward? We'd have to, well, technically we'd top 10, but that's only 50 gems, which is pointless. Yeah, the next better reward after 20, there's basically 3 tiers. There's everything from 100 to 21. There's everything from 20 to 7. And then there is the top 6. And the top 6 are the only really huge rewards as far as this game mode is concerned. We're actually really close. I didn't even realize how close that is. I might need to keep an eye on that later. Wow. That is, not that many battles to reach 6. That is tempting for a major orb. That actually is somewhat tempting. To make 6th place? I don't know how contested it's going to be. Probably pretty contested. Like, all 5 of these people are probably trying for it. But, you know what? I might give it an attempt. I'll see where things are on Monday. But we might go throw more battles Monday night, or even just throughout the day. Might do them off camera, and we'll see where we are at the end of that. But, I don't know. I'll see where these numbers move. If they go and spike up a lot, I'm obviously not going to try. But, if they stay pretty much where they are, we could easily reach that one. Maybe not that one. These two are a little bit more questionable. But yeah, it's definitely worth. If 6th place is going to stay at approximately that, I may attempt it. Because we get 50 of our gems, of our 200 gems back that will pay for it. Plus, we get a major orb, which is decently better than 2 smaller ones. And then again, 2 smaller ones gives us a higher chance of getting a blue one, though. If this major orb goes into like a green orb, that would be so facepalm and depressing. But if it was like a blue or purple orb, then that would actually have been worth it. We'll see. We'll see where scores are. But anyways, let's finish out the last few battles we have. We have 5 battles plus whatever ravens we get, so probably like 7 or 9 battles, actually. What team can you make with 5 Fair Shras? Fair Shra, Fair Shra, Fair Shra, Fair Shra, and then substitute a Fair Shra for one of your Fair Shras later on to replace your Fair Shra. And that's about all you can build. Let's see, we'll go through that then. Also, you have 5 Fair Shras, really? I'm still floating on the 4. I'm gonna hate when I get the 5th one, though. I actually did craft the 4th one. Just because I wanted to have 4. There's obviously no reason to have 4, but I wanted to because why not? But yeah, I just felt like it one day. It was the first time it was ever craftable, so I figured since basically everyone was going to be crafting them, I might as well craft them too, to get the 4th one. He also makes for a really good thumbnail because you can get over 1,000 souls really easily with 4 Fair Shras. It's not realistic to do it because it's really slow. I think 4 Fair Shras is only like 20 to 30,000 souls per hour. Just because of how glacially slow it wins, because no mana generation. But, yeah, it's pretty funny. It still gains a lot per battle, if you're just looking at that aspect. Also, hello, Lucas. Thank you for the subscribe, much appreciated. You have 5 Abbeys too? I have 8 Plagues. That's currently the highest I have of any Mythic. I have way too many Plagues. By a ridiculous margin. I think I have more. I think I have twice as many Plagues as I have any other Mythic. Also, we could actually lose this battle. Gotta be careful. I need to get this barrier spam rolling. I'm gonna go grab that extra turn. Please get the barrier on the one I needed to, or at least give us alignment or an extra turn. None of that happened. Luckily, that died, so it now has a higher chance that it will barrier the one I actually wanted to barrier. And that is exactly what I needed, except it didn't give us a board alignment, but oh well. Let me go throw a silence down so he doesn't do annoying stuff like kill us. What do we need? What do we need? Yeah, Guai. You don't have anything good to do, but you can give us some of our mana back, I guess. I'll go for it, why not? Barely does anything, but it does do something. Okay, well, we still have all of our barriers, still have most of our mana. We'll go grab that, throw another one down. It's probably going to miss, but I just need to get it down just to do something. And we don't have alignment there. unfortunately. So we'll go throw that in there. And now we need to go take double reds. So we'll grab that. Take that over there. Get this down. Hopefully don't miss. Got it. Throw it down again. Didn't get it. And what else do we need? I guess we'll go and... Nothing good to move. Nothing good to move. We have purple, purple, or purple. All of which we don't need. And I need to be specifically keeping them on the board, not taking them off. I guess we take a blue and hope for a double red or something. There we go, finally we get some red. So we'll go take a red to yellow. That gives us pretty much everything. It would have been if it would have surged. Oh, there goes that. And we can't re-silence him anymore now either, but at least now we can start hitting him with our ability. And now that we only have two, both of them will pretty much perpetually be barriered, so we should be fine now. Yeah, it's really funny. This team gets stronger as you lose troops, because it's more likely you'll barrier an important troop, and there's nothing blocking your mana anymore. It seems kind of strange, but that is the case. It's the strongest when these two are the only two left on your team. Also, that weird glitch where you end up killing with a red true damage off of him, it does a weird slow motion thing at the end of battle. It doesn't do it with like Kraken or anything else, only does it with him for whatever reason. It's kind of odd. But yeah, we might actually have a pretty solid top 20 then, even if we don't buy anymore, which would be pretty nice. Because even that alone, even just 2 orbs, I wouldn't really mind. It would be the first time we ever even get something like that. So, that'll be cool. Still have our 4 battles, and then our other 4 for tomorrow. Hopefully at least one more Val Raven before the end of this. Too bad we'll have to wait all the way until Monday to see what we get from it, though. There's obviously no way for us to open it any earlier than that. Okay, we'll go take that down. Let's see. Also, it feels really weird having raids and bounty hunter at the same time, because the first time bounty hunter came around, it was on a Guild War week, which wasn't a game mode that has sigils. But now it's weird because there's 2 different game modes happening at the exact same time that uses sigils. They don't use the same sigils, but they both use sigils. It just keeps confusing me because it's like, oh, we still have sigils in this one, but we don't have it in this one. Which makes sense because they have their own individual things, but it's just, I don't know, I find that slightly confusing. Personally, keeping track of that like that. Okay, we'll go take that red. Hopefully this doesn't miss. I still don't really understand what made them want to go do the whole sigil system, though. I still find it to be very clunky. That hasn't changed. I still very hate the system. Let's see. We're gonna move that over. The only really good part about it is the rewards that you get from it. And I guess technically the game modes themselves. Some weeks are really frustrating, though. Also, this game mode being so repetitive is also somewhat frustrating. I don't mind it too much because it's really chill. But it's, wish it had at least some variation to it. Or some kind of difficulty curve. Because it's kind of weird. Out of every game mode they added, this is the only one that doesn't scale up in difficulty. It does, but it flatlines once it reaches this point. Well, technically the other game modes flatline too. But it has such a, so hard to obtain flatline that very few people actually reach it. Actually, I don't even think anyone this week has reached it, or if they have, only a few. Let me go double check. In raids, that is. But in this game mode, you can flatline so ridiculously easily. You only need like 20 battles, not even because you get Val Ravens, to flatline it. Which you can basically do just with the default battles you get. Without even buying any of the things. Okay, we'll go throw that down. Well, I guess maybe that's one of the reasons why they did it, I guess. So that you could still play it all the way to the end. Without needing to pay anything with gem-wise. So maybe that's why they set it up like that. That would probably make the most sense. Actually, now that I think about it, that is probably exactly why they set it up like that. Because you only need 20 battles. You get 12. And assuming you get at least 5 Val Ravens and you kill all of them. Or 4 Val Ravens. Which in that many battles you would most likely get. Then yes, you would actually be able to do every single one of these battles at least once. Without spending a single gem. Yeah, that's probably why they have it set up like that. Anyways, what was I about to go do? I was about to go check something. Oh yeah, raids. I want to go check raids and see if anyone has hit top score yet. Raid boss, probably not, because there's so many skulls that can get hit. No. Oh, wait. I just saw 500, I think. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Yep. One person, the person in 10th place, has reached the top 500 thingy. I really wish they would put that into consideration when actually doing the score thingy. Because there's a good possibility that the person in 10th right now is actually doing the best out of every single person on this leaderboard right now. Because they were the only person currently who's managed to get all the way to the final boss. Whereas the person in first still hasn't even done that. But yeah, I really feel like they should consider the boss level when considering this leaderboard thingy. Because there's someone who only has a 255. Because there's a slight exploit in that you can actually deliberately keep it at a lower level that is easier to kill, and then just keep killing it over and over and over again, and deliberately lose at the end each time, and just do it that way. Whereas with these battles, while you still get just like a ridiculous amount of damage from just simply throwing a mang at it, if nothing else, but the biggest issue there is the battle is a lot harder and you could die a lot quicker, to the point where you pretty much just get two-shotted, almost even one-shotted by everything. And you're probably more towards one-shot the way that the ancient golems and everything are. But they're already one-shot even at the lower difficulty we're at. We're only at 250. But still, I think there should be consideration in it. Because it is a lot harder to actually get to that point compared to just spamming it with a bunch of gems. But yeah, only one person on the entire leaderboard, or at least on PC mobile side, I don't know about console, has managed to even do it. It's a little bit of a hard week. Even though it's easier at the lower levels, the biggest issue at the higher levels is skulls do so much damage, and almost everything in this kingdom of Kedar creates skulls, which can be good for speed and stuff like that. But the problem is once you start reaching the really high end, they like 1 to 2 shot you with skulls. They already 2-shot us, so wouldn't even be surprised if they 1-shot that high at level 500 or so, or like this in the 400s. But yeah, it's just can backfire really easily if you use like skeleton or keeper of souls, because if you give them even 1 skull, you're giving them a lot of value, unfortunately. What can you use until you get a Guai in the last slot? Dragon Soul, or any of the heavier red or purple damages that you happen to have laying around. Really, any of them will end up working. Doesn't specifically need to be any troop. Obviously, Garuda would be the best, though, due to its convert, but any red-purple that has high damage output, or just any red or purple that has high damage output. Really just basically the best legend or mythic you have for damage that is red or purple is what you would put it there. What specifically that'll be, of course, depends heavily on what you actually own. But that's all you need there. Guai obviously the best, but you can use any red or purple damage source. Ideally a red-purple, though it doesn't have to be. Yeah, either a red-purple or a purple... What's the other color? Purple-green would be pretty nice, too, like a Kraken or something. Because you can feed into your parrot as well by doing that. Yeah, using a Kraken. Yeah, we'll go grab that. Oh, wait, why did I take that? That was actually... Well, I had to, never mind. Well, I couldn't leave it there for him, obviously. Also, Valraven, didn't even notice that. Let me go take that yellow just so he doesn't get it. You make sure we take every yellow when we see it, just in case. Alright, hopefully this doesn't miss. Come on, we need to get rolling. Need to get the Valraven kill. Let's see. How do we do this? I can't bother going for silence. Our best bet, I guess, is take Brown Surge. And then hope this doesn't miss again. Kind of missed. Not complete miss, though. There we go. Now we're functional. And luckily, Guai starts hitting immediately. So we should be good to go. Ooh. Almost. One more hit should do it. I think we'll have enough stats at that point. Even if not, we can just go poke it. There we go. And that's match. And we... Oh, oops, we're frozen. But we'll go grab that. Oh, he almost escaped too. That would have been bad. But there we go. Okay, we're not frozen on greens. We'll grab that. Do we go into another Guai now? Or do we wait it? He's going to do like 0 damage with that. We might as well just cast. Get that down. Complete miss. And let's just take a red into a cast into the final hit. Or the final hits. We're not frozen on blue, so I will go for that, I guess. A lot of cascades that we don't need and all that mess. Well, I guess we technically need the red. Okay, I should be careful now. He can actually kill us really easily. Should probably go kill him with the thing just to play it safe. Never mind. I forgot. We can just take a red. I keep forgetting that. All we have to do is take a red and he dies. Because of how it does 3 damage every red we take due to Guai. And that's match for sure. And down it goes. Yes, Sakima would end up working very well actually for that slot. Biggest issue, or no, never mind. That wouldn't be too big of an issue in this game mode. Though it could propose to be an issue. The only real issue that could come up from that is the excess skulls the AI will be able to use. And of course, they technically do use better skull value than anything you can do due to having higher skull hit. Not to mention he does Death Mark plus freeze if you don't have something with immune up there. So that is something to look out for. But other than that, yeah, should end up working quite well with Sakima. Okay, we'll take another red because we don't have really any other option. Purple we'll leave on the board and try getting it off the extra turn. Didn't get it. We'll move that over. Take our red, get it to full. There we go. Well, there's full mana. We got frozen off a double skull though, twice. Oops, and we're frozen on blue too. Oops. It's like, we're frozen, and I'm still going for it. Well, hate when I do that. Guai. All that board, no alignment. I'll go move that down, I guess. Get this down. Get a Guai. Go from there. There we go, perfect. Thank you for aligning it for us. Throw that down again, just give us alignment if nothing else. He kept it in place, very nice. He gets a kill, which helps us. And if he can get another kill, that will help us even more. Do I throw another Guai? No, we'll try for the alignment. So we'll do that. We do need to get alignment unless he ruins it. And he slightly ruined it, but then he put it right back together. Take the yellow over, take the brown over, take the skull over, apparently. Actually, probably should have grabbed that first, just in case it didn't do that cascade. That was actually pretty lucky. Yeah, I definitely should have taken the skull there. That didn't make that big a difference. But at least that now allows us to kill it with the Guai. So much so, I'm actually going to do it now. Even though we have no alignment, I'm going to give him reds. I just don't want him getting more HP or else he'll survive, so we'll do that. He denies my red in taking that. Let me go silence him just out of safety's sake. You never know what might happen. So that makes it so we basically don't lose now. And again, if he hits enough skulls, we might eventually lose. Let's take a brown. We'll do a skull. Actually, I should probably be careful. We actually could legitimately lose if he gets too many skulls. Gotta watch out for that. All this board and we can't take reds. So I'll go deny that out, I guess. He'll give us a little bit more purple to replenish the board, which actually helps us quite a good deal. This shouldn't miss with how much are on the board. Good. And now we just go crazy with that, and that's match. And there we go. Let's see, how high are we right now? We are at 3 more battles, 308,000. We are number 14. Top 6 is 330,000, pretty much. We're almost there. Depends if we get more Val Ravens. We're pretty close, though. Definitely pretty close. Alright, let's keep going at it. Not like the battle's changing at all, so right back in. You're having fun with Baba Yaga last slot? Would that work? I guess so. Baba Yaga plus Parrot would silence the entire opposing team. You would need an Entangle to go with that, though. I don't know if you would have anything for it to get rid of first slot. Because you'd have your abilities disabled quite well, but I don't know what you're going to do about the skull damage, because that would eventually press to be a problem, since how high he hits with skulls, not to mention the Death Mark aspect of it. Like, this is a really bad starting board. That's the only slight annoying thing about some of these game modes too. You don't get like a repick on your starting board or anything like that. Like in like card games and such, you might get like a repick on one of your cards or something like that. But in this game, you don't get a repick on anything. If you get a bad starting board, you're just stuck with a bad starting board. We'll go take a red. I don't know what move I want. I guess we'll just stick a blue. Because there's barely anything even worth it. I think this board's going to shuffle. Almost guarantee this board's going to shuffle in the next 3 turns. Okay, maybe not. That actually emptied up the board a bit. The mana drain's the only thing. Okay, never mind. It's going to be fine now because we're going to do that. Never mind. No shuffle for the board. The board was fixed. There you go. Go throw Yagway down. That's also why you end up using board control troops, or even just anything that spawns things in general. Because if you have absolutely none of them, you'll eventually get a board that has no moves left. It's only a matter of time. So go grab that. Get a Yagway down. Take that one over. Don't really have much else to need to cast, but we'll go get that down, I guess. See if we can get a Yagway after. I don't think we're going to have the alignment for it unless he gives it to us, which he doesn't. Another barrier. That one actually hit on something useful. It hit on itself. On Yagway would be the best thing for it to hit on. We'll give it one last shot. Good, that's exactly what I needed to land on. Unfortunately, it did not extra turn. We'll go grab that, get our damage. Throw this down again, get our alignment, throw it down again for damage, and repeat until we win. No alignment. Not even after Fair Shroud, we don't even have alignment. Go move that over. Move that over. And give it another shot. There we go, now we should have it. Perfect, we have it like in 3-4 locations. Throw it down again, hopefully get it. Oh, before we do, take a skull. 1 HP! 1. Okay, I'm gonna have to take that just in case, just to ensure that it dies. And throw that down. Get that, and that's match. All we have to do is do that one more time, and he's dead. And there we go. Okay. And unless we get a Raven, we only have 2 battles left, which puts us at around 320,000, which would put us in top 10 with no Val Ravens. Actually, top 11. Yeah, we're getting there. Not sure if I'll go all the way, but that is pretty close. I wonder if everyone in this area were the people that bought all 7 instead of all 6. It might be. In which case, we're actually a little bit behind then, if that is the case. Which makes sense, because we have lost several times. We also haven't been using this team the entire time, which is quite a bit better than what we were initially using. Not just in its effectiveness, but also in its points, obviously, by having an entire 3rd troop instead of only 2. What do we need? What do we need? Do we bother for this? I don't think we have alignment, do we? No, we did not. So we'll go grab that. That also doesn't give us alignment, but it does give us a recast. And that misses, unfortunately. Luckily, he doesn't drain. Well, even if he could, he can't drain that one. Go move that over. Get another one of these down. Nice. Get that back down again. Get it back down again. And, well, get it back down again. Nothing new here. Just keep getting it. And see if we can get a Yagway in here. He just ruined it off the top, but luckily we have it in over there, which he realigns. Move that over to get full mana. Move that down for Skull Poke because we're not frozen, luckily. I'd even double check. Luckily we weren't, though. Go to get that in there. No alignment. He actually just ruined it by taking that extra turn. I think... Oh, it's 1 damage short. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I'm gonna have to throw a Yagway here. Horrible board to throw it down, but I don't want him gaining more HP. Just in case, you never know. And we'll go get that down. Come on, mana. Go take some reds, I guess. Get a Yagway in there. Actually, I don't even have the mana for it. We'll just go move that. Take it down again. Move that down. That over. Blue. Do I even bother with a silence? No. We just go right into the kill. Take the Yagway for a poke. And one more poke will do it. Too bad he's 2 mana short. We'll stick a red, I guess, and that's that. And there we go. The final moment of truth. Will we get a Valraven on the final battle for 2 more battles? Otherwise, that will be our final score. 4,600 higher than that. Or at least not our final score. We get another 4 tomorrow. With however many Valravens. Nope, that is no more Valravens, at least for today. So yeah, we might not be able to make top 6 then. But as long as we maintain top 20, that's perfectly fine. I don't really need to get any higher than that. If we can maintain top 20 without spending any more gems, that's perfectly fine. And I believe we will be able to. We'll be 11 for 10th after this battle. And assuming everyone above us, for the most part, have used all their battles, or around us, I should say, then we should be fine. Because that gives 9 people leeway to pass us. And if they all do, we'd still be in top 20. Getting the same reward. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I might consider going for top 6. It depends what people do. I'm pretty sure I won't go for it though, but we'll see what the 6th place score is probably like midway through tomorrow. And that will determine if I actually go for it or not. If it starts getting too high, I definitely won't be. And we'll just leave it as what we're currently at pretty much. Alright, we'll go get that down. Get the other cast down. And there we go. Still need a bit more damage. Go grab that. Doesn't really do much though, unfortunately. Go grab the extra turn that's just sitting there. Take the skull into extra turn. Don't have a drop there. Oh, we do have that though. Go grab that. And wait, how did we kill Ferris Raw? Hold up. How did the Ferris Raw die first? Has he really gotten that many golems down that the Ferris Raw actually managed to die first? I think that's the first time I've seen it happen. At least in these battles. He can actually win if he keeps getting that many skulls. Do I just double skull him at this point? I think I do. Might be the better bet. So I'll go move that over. Good, he did not get a skull. That would have been really bad if he did. There we go, perfect. Go grab that again. And that's match, just a matter of applying the damage at this point. Because we have barrier spam, we have the mana set up, we have pretty much everything we need. And down it goes. And now that's everything we need. And there we go, 0 battles remaining. And, oh, rank 11, really? Really, just a little bit short. If we had one more battle, yeah, these are people that bought the exact same packs that we did. Oh, that means they all did better than me. Everyone from 6 to 10 probably got the exact same that we did. Probably even a little bit lower than this. Probably all the way down to like 17. Maybe even a little bit lower than that. But yeah, we all bought up to the exact same pack. They did better than me though. Everyone from these 5 people, Ms. the Crowdbear, Seku, us, none of the above in that one, ended up all getting higher than us with assumably the exact same amount of battles. So that's a bit unfortunate. Of course, that could also be Valraven luck, but that could also be the fact that we had like 3 Valravens escape and like 3 losses or something. But yeah, that's our final score for now. Not sure if I'll be buying another one again. That depends what 6th place does. But yeah, if it stays that low, if it's still only like a 7,000 gap to make 6, then yeah, obviously I'll be going for it. If it's only like a 10, 20,000 gap, or probably if it's a 10,000 or less. But if it starts going beyond that, I'm probably just going to leave it as is, and then won't be able to get top 20. Top 20 is currently 290,000 pretty much, so I'm pretty sure that'll be about 300,000 plus whatever the tomorrow shizzles will do. So yeah, I think we'll be fine for top 20. So we'll see where things are, but for now, we're leaving it as is. And let's go on to other stuff now, like doing PvP, because we still are not even rank 1 PvP yet. And by rank 1 PvP, I mean I literally have not even done the... It's pretty sad. I think this is the longest it has ever taken me to bother doing it. But I'm still at 1,644. I haven't even bothered doing 1,900 yet. Wait, that guy, isn't that the same guy who was like 6th place? Max Own. I'm pretty sure that was the exact same guy we just saw in the other one. Max Own. No, it was a different guy with M. They both started with M. They both start with M. It must be the same name. Yeah, people would probably spend heaviest on tomorrow, probably. Which is probably why I'm just going to go for top 20 instead. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more people who actually do bother to go for it. I know I won't be. I don't value it that high, so... yeah, what we're currently at is likely what we're staying at, other than maybe the 4 battles from tomorrow. Just make sure we maintain top 20. But if nothing else, at least that's 2 orbs. If one of those rolls on a blue orb, I will be happy. If neither of them roll in a blue orb and they're both like a green-purple, that'll be really depressing. But regardless, we got every reward, and that's the main thing I was going for. Oh, we get a map randomly. Not like we need it, but more maps for the pile. Alchemist, why can't you do anything good? Actually, you can, never mind. Good job. Get that down. Throw Moneylender back into it. Free Queen Titania. And we still had a Guai to follow up, in case that wasn't already enough. Quick question. How do you see so fast where all the mana you drop is? Oh, it's just from playing this game so much is how I know where everything goes. Yeah, I can definitely understand when you're first starting off. You'll obviously want to start on a slower speed. You wouldn't want to put it on 4 times immediately. You'd probably want to put it on 2 times or something maybe, or 1.5, because normal speed is like glacially slow. But actually 1 time speed is actually slower than what 1 time speed used to be in this game. So yeah, 1.25 or like 1.5 is pretty much around where the speed used to be for the base of the game. I don't know why 1 times is slower than what 1 times used to be. It's kind of weird. But yeah, put that up a little bit, but definitely don't put it up to 4 times when you're first starting out. You definitely want to get a feeling for where everything is before you really go and turn it up that much. But yeah, once you kind of have a general basis though and get used to like 2 times and such, you should pretty easily be able to bring it up to 4 times later on. It's definitely advised doing because it makes farming everything quicker, because just everything just goes quicker. But yeah, when you're first starting off, definitely keep it a bit lower than 4 times, just so you can see where everything's going and all that. Yeah, I've gotten so used to this at this point. There's still some things that I still miss just because it does move so quick that sometimes it's untrackable. But luckily, when we're streaming, one thing that we can do is actually look back into the stream. So if something really important did happen out of nowhere, we actually can just go look right back at it. So that's one nice, pretty good benefit of streaming too. I sometimes do that when I'm playing on my own. I'm like, okay, let me go click back and see what happened. Oh wait, never mind, I can't. But yeah, it does take a little bit to get used to, and even once you get used to it, you can still have those sometimes where just something so gigantic happens that like, wait, what on earth just happened? It does happen very, very occasionally. That's kind of to be expected when you're putting it at that quick of a movement speed. But I do highly advise normally playing, especially if you're just farming resources and not really doing guild wars or something. If you're just specifically farming resources, I do highly advise putting on 4 times speed because it's just quicker. Because in these kind of battles, it doesn't matter really what happens. In guild wars, it definitely matters. And I guess technically in raids, invasion, and bounty hunter, it technically matters as well. But for things like PvP and just normal battle and questing, stuff like that, treasure hunt, it doesn't really matter if you have it at a slower speed. Well, maybe treasure hunt is actually more enjoyable at a slower speed. But for everything else, like PvP and such, pretty much just ramp it all the way up that you feel comfortable with. Because the higher the speed, the more resources you get per hour. They also ended up scaling all the resources in the game to 4 times speed when they released 4 times speed. Not exactly when they released it, but they realized how overpowered 4 times speed was to the resource economy of the game. So they did basically scale it all to 4 times speed. They did that about like 9 months ago or so. We'll go through Moneylender down. It's probably gonna, yep, I was about to say, it's probably gonna miss because there's only 7, but yep, that's to be expected. Go move that over. Get the red, get an alchemist, go from there, do down blue, get our mana that we need right into Moneylender, and get things rolling. But yeah, Alchemist Moneylender. I was not expecting Moneylender to be that good. Well, I wasn't expecting his boost ratio to be that low, I should say. Because I saw him earlier, but there wasn't a confirmed boost ratio for him. But his boost ratio is way too low. Yeah, it should require almost like max gold in order to actually get what he normally does. Like, the concept of the troop itself is pretty nice. It just gets its full capability way too quick, I feel like. Hello, Ross! I'm doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good today. Though I need to go check the news and see what's up with the bombing that happened, though. I heard that last night. I was, like, right heading to bed as that happened, when it was, like, breaking news when it happened last night. So I didn't really see much coverage or anything on it. I'm pretty sure that'll be covered in great detail today, that is for sure. Okay, we'll go and throw that onto the purple. Go get a Moneylender down. Get that down. Because all I did this morning was wake up and then basically got on stream. That tends to happen on most Fridays and Saturdays. Because normally the way I wake up these days, more often than not, is more towards like midday. Like towards like almost noon actually. And then I'm normally up more during the night. But that's slightly different on Fridays and Saturdays because I stream so early, obviously. It's really true on Mondays, though, because Monday, I don't even bother going to sleep. I just go and stay up the entire night until the event comes around, and then I do the event, and then I sleep, like, the entire day instead. I have a really weird sleep schedule on Monday. It's probably not that healthy, but it works out really nicely, so I don't know. I prefer doing it that way. But yeah, I never go to sleep on Monday night. Well, I do. It's just, I stay up till, like, 7 a.m., so I can record the thing, and then I go to bed and just sleep throughout the day, because there's nothing specifically on Mondays that I need to do for anything, so I can easily get away with doing that. Let's see. Do we bother with this on brown? Oh, I guess we'll move that over. Do that on the blue, go from there. And get a Guai down. Yeah, we're one short. We'll go throw that onto, I guess, greens there. Get that rolling, get a moneylender, go from there. Neither of these are worth it. Get a, come on, moneylender, go. Get that down, get free damage. Guai, clean up. Oh, he can't be fairy fired. You need a moneylender. We don't have it. I guess we'll throw a blank Guai. Oh, he revived. Let's see. Will he see it for the first time transform into a Dragon Soul? I still have yet to see it. A baby dragon to Dragon Soul off of a Dragon Soul. So it goes from Dragon Soul to Baby Dragon to Dragon Soul. It is possible, though I've never seen it before. And apparently we're not going to see it this time because it just died. Rip. Poor little guy. Look at that! One more battle! It only took us 5 days, but we finally hit 1,900. Something that takes like 2 hours of PvP. Which just shows how little PvP we played, because we've been in like every other game mode other than PvP. Between Explore, between mainly Raids and Invasion, where we spent a good majority of our time. Yeah, this is the first week that both of those have ever occurred side by side. And I think next time it's going to be side by side with Invasion, if I'm not mistaken, because it runs once a month. So 1 month from now is 4 weeks, so that's Invasion week. Okay, we're gonna move that down. Move that down. Double check the board. Throw a moneylender. Queen of Tanya if there's 13 plus. Throw that down for damage. He revives. Get an alchemist if we have it, which we don't have. Now we do. Throw that on the blue. Guai if we have it. Otherwise, take mana. Guai if we have it. Otherwise, take mana again. Don't have enough red for her. Oh wait, what am I doing? We could already won ages ago. I didn't realize his HP was already that low. And down he goes. And there we go. Tier 1 PvP on Friday. Well, that took forever. I think that was the latest I've ever done that. Amazing. Anyways. Well, why don't I spend glory? I'm saving it for when 10-star kingdoms get released. Or at least when more 9-star kingdoms get released. One of the two. But, yeah, I'm saving it for then. Either for glory keys or mainly for actually throwing at the event stuff so we can get them to Mythic immediately. Because there will reach a point in this game where we will basically have to Mythic whatever new troop comes out each week in order to get the kingdom to 10 stars. And with that being a factor, I want to make sure I have enough glory for it. Also, I'm just saving it because we can. Because why not? But yes, that's the main thing I'm saving it for, 10-star kingdoms. 10-star kingdoms likely aren't coming until later this year or very early next year. But I still want to be prepared because, yeah, might as well have the resources. We have plenty of time to grind out for it, that is for sure. There's a good, like, 6 months before we see the first 10-star kingdom, most likely. And there's a good chance it might not even occur this year. But I want to have the resources just so we can do it as soon as it comes out. Also, once I do start doing that, every new troop that ever comes out will have fully maxed out too, so we can start showing them that way. That won't really make much of a difference, though. You pretty much get a good feel for it as soon as you get it to, like, ultra rare plus fully traded. Generally gives a pretty good feel of how the troop will function. Do you think for 10-star kingdoms, we will need 2 mythics per kingdom? Well, there's only currently 1 mythic that will, or as far as base mythics, I don't think they ever intend on adding more than 1 base mythic per kingdom, or at least not anytime soon. Because they still have a lot of kingdoms to go through before they double up. But yeah, they're definitely trying to get 1 per kingdom before they ever do that. And they'll probably throw more into things like the other areas before they start doubling up. Like, for example, throwing additional ones into, what's that one called? The one where all of the horsemen are. The Apocalypse Kingdom. They would probably throw more into Apocalypse before they would bother doubling up as well. So that's another factor with it. But, yeah, you wouldn't need 2 Mythics. As far as 2 base Mythics, as far as ascending things to Mythic, yeah, probably. You'd probably need several things ascended to Mythic within the kingdom. But as far as actual, like, base Mythics, no, I don't think anything is... It'll be a long time. I don't think they're ever planning on adding more than 1 Mythic per kingdom. So whenever a kingdom gets a Mythic, that's probably going to be, basically, its only one, ever. What do we need to move around? I guess we'll take a green. Take that green, take a skull, take a red. Yeah, we'll take a red. Try for a skull there, didn't get it. He has way too much mana drain. What even is this team? I just noticed what it is. It's double Wisp, double Spirit Fox. Why? You don't even get to utilize Stealthy because everything has Stealthy. Well, unless you stun them, but obviously you would want to not stun them. That is kind of weird, though. Stun can actually be a status effect if and only if the entire team you're up against is using Stealthy. That's going to be almost no team ever, because you'd have to be crazy to actually set that as your team. But what's really funny is this team's doing better than almost every other team that has been set up so far. This is actually being the most effective team we've faced all day so far. That is pretty sad. But, yeah, there's really no point in ever setting a full stealthy team. And, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's one of the few instances where stun can actually be a negative trait. There's also, it's kind of weird, where stun can be a negative trait to use. Poison can be a positive trait. If you're using troops that have a effect that triggers whenever they take HP damage, poison is actually beneficial to you, not a negative effect. You still lose HP, obviously, but the benefit that you're gaining is much better than the 1 HP that you're losing, which is kind of really strange, but that is the case. If they ever created a troop that poisoned your own allies, like basically poisons everything, all enemies and all allies, it's going to be a really effective troop, and it's going to be pretty popular to use, because there's a lot of things that require taking HP damage that are beneficial when poisoned. I'm really curious if they're ever going to get around to doing that. Your thoughts about Scorpius? You just got him. Pretty useless for the most part. Really effective early on in the game if you need like a really good one-shot option, because you can do a Wyvern into, which is a pretty cheap troop. I believe Wyvern is a rare, or ultra rare highest. Maybe it's a rare. I'm pretty sure it's a rare. But you just use Wyvern into a Scorpius, and then you instantly double kill, assuming they can be poisoned. But, yeah, Wyvern does a double poison to the last 2 slots, and it's only a rare... Ultra rare, never mind. Yeah, it is an ultra rare. But, still, really cheap. It's an ultra rare, has double poison off its ability. It poisons the last 2 enemies, hits the first 2 enemies, poisons the last 2 enemies. So with that poison, you can go and then put that into a Scorpius, which then it instant kills the last 2 enemies if they're poisoned. So that synergizes basically perfectly with each other, Wyvern plus Scorpius. Then you just use like an Apothecary or a Deep Bore or some kind of brown-related mana generator, and one other damage source just to make sure you have some kind of damage to clean up the rest of the battle of some kind. But yeah, that's pretty much what you can get away with. Is it particularly viable? Not really. It's pretty weak for the most part, but if you don't have too many options to use, it's definitely pretty decent. It's definitely not the worst team that you could be using. It's pretty mid-tier, though. Not something I would go out of my way to use, but without other options, it's definitely something to consider. Some kind of Wyvern Scorpius team with brown mana generation and one other damage source. Yeah, I personally would not go out of my way to use it. I also wouldn't go out of my way to fully trade it either. While it does have some really decent traits, and most of its values actually does come from its traits, it's not something you would ever be using enough, I don't think, that you would need to fully trade it. Or at least not anytime immediately. There's plenty of better stuff to be trading other than him. Especially since I believe he uses Mountain Trait Stones too, which you'd want to put into Gorgulfa before you'd ever want to touch him, because Gorgulfa is way better to trait than him. What's the best soul farming team without Farish Ra? It is Dragon Soul, double Azurus, and Wolf Garrick. I mean, I'll say it right eventually. Umbra Wolf. I believe I have it set up as my suggested team slot because someone was asking earlier too. That team. Oh. That team. Dragon Soul double Azurus Umberwolf is the best soul farming team you can build with 0 Fairish Raws. And the downgrades are, if you do first challenge Divinian Fields, obviously, as you do with pretty much everything, Warlord 2 difficulty. But the downgrades are, Dragon Soul is mandatory, but the downgrades are Wolf, I keep wanting to not say the right one. Oh, we got a gnome. Umberwolf, if you don't have him fully traded, you replace him with another Azurus that's fully traded. If you don't have 3 Azuruses that are fully traded, you replace them with any Necromancy troop. So your team would be Dragon Soul and 3 Necromancies, like Warlock or something. Warlock, if you ever wonder why I always mention Warlock, there's 2 reasons. One, it has good single target damage for cleanup. But the other and main reason is Warlock at this current moment in time is the cheapest... okay, we'll go for that. I don't want to give him reds, but oh well. He's the cheapest... Warlock is the cheapest Necromancy in the game. He gets it on his 2nd trait, and he's a rare. So there's currently no troop with a cheaper Necromancy than him, which is another reason for that. Also, you start off in Broken Spire Kingdom, and all of the trait stones that you get in Broken Spire Kingdom when you're first starting off in the game are all the colors that Warlock uses for his traits. So from completing out the first kingdom in the entire game, you're basically getting the trait stones you need to trade a Warlock. I believe more often than not, assuming you don't use your trait stones on anything else, you actually get all the resources you need to fully trait a Warlock just from completing out Broken Spire. All the quest lines in it. You might need to go grind out like a few traits here and there, but you only need his first 2 traits, and by the time you complete out the entirety of Broken Spire, you will probably have his first 2 traits in trait stones just laying around, so it's actually really convenient how that works. It's why I always mention him, just because it's so ridiculously easy to obtain for anyone. You can get it within like your first day of playing. It's so easy to obtain. It might not do enough damage to really be realistic to use for soul farming, but you can have him double traded pretty much on like the first few days you're playing, even the first day, depending on how much you play your first day. Anyways, 5 gems right there and a treasure map. Not too bad. Treasure Gnome can definitely give us much worse than that. Also, we ended up pulling a 50,000 gold earlier. We're actually almost getting better drops from the Treasure Gnome when it's not the event than during the event. Because we got 50,000 gold yesterday off of one, and we got 5 gems today off of one, so not too bad. Drops as of recently have been going pretty well. And I believe they're buffing its drop table too, by removing some of the really bad drops from it. I believe they're removing the 2 minor trait stones and the soul drop from the Treasure Gnome next patch. And if they do end up doing that, that's going to be very nice. Anyways, let's go into, let's go use Divine Team. I haven't even used Divine Team once today. Might as well. Which base Mythic is the strongest currently? Infernus. Especially with the Doom Skull mechanic coming in version 3.4. But yeah, Infernus and Worldbreaker are the 2 highest damage Mythics in the game right now, base Mythics. There's a few other ones that are also pretty good under certain circumstances, but those are the best overall. Ketchers is pretty nice too. Biggest issue with Ketchers is he's really stat dependent, and if he falls behind, he stays behind. Whereas Infernus can easily come back from any situation, same as Worldbreaker. But once you start losing your stats on something like something on your Ketchers, you start falling behind a lot. Wait, we have double revenge? Interesting. I guess we'll take the better revenge because it's so much more gold. It's a really annoying battle, though. I hate this battle. But oh well. I should have threw a Mercy at this, actually. Oh, wait. Why am I not using the Mercy version? Mercy version is actually quite a bit better. Oh, wow. And what's with all the Treasure Gnomes? We're getting more Treasure Gnomes than if it was even a Treasure Gnome event right now. Did we accidentally trigger it somehow? Apparently. No. It's just actual pure luck right now. But yeah, we just had one like 2 battles ago. You better not get full mana. This could actually be really bad. The thing it replaced out wasn't even that useful. If it would have replaced out Dawnbringer or one of his mana generations, that would have been very useful. But we could actually lose this, which would be really sad. I need to poke him with something. Can you stop draining us? Okay, let me go get a Mountain Crusher so we can actually get some mana going. I was going to say, how has he not entangled us yet? Oh, he better not get that down. Wow. I think we just lost. Even if we kill it. Oh, no! That is the first time I've ever seen that happen. What on earth just happened? 3 XP, really? But, yeah, we lost to a gnome. He didn't even invade. We lost to a team that had a gnome on it. because he got Forest Troll next loop against our easily mana drainable troops. Okay, fine, I'll use the Mercy version. Where do I have the Mercy version? Do I not even have it set up at the moment? I think I've replaced it over Mercy and Furnace. No, I didn't. Where's my Mercy version of this? I don't think I have it set up at the moment. Okay, well, easy enough to go set up. Actually, wait, where's my other team? I think I might have it set up over my base team of it. 4 times Divine. Yep, there it is. Okay, let's stick with this. Let's not lose to another gnome. Yeah, that's my first lose ever to a gnome. That's funny. Though, obviously, we didn't actually lose to the gnome. We lost to Forest Troll next loop. Still one of the most annoying combos in the game for defense. Of course, it could easily be countered by using things that specifically have immune to mana drain. I just don't feel like specifically making things that have immune to mana drain for every battle. But we could easily switch to it if we really wanted to play it safe. There's no way we could have known that a gnome would have appeared, though. I would go throw that in. Go get that down. I mean, I do prefer this version of it quite a bit more, personally. The previous one I showed was actually one that someone suggested. This was the one that we've been using for a while, though. Pretty much been using this since Diviner was released. Let's see. We're going to take the red over. Get the Infernus down, and that'll be that. Unless something weird happens, and down it goes. When soul farming the Explorer, is it preferred Warlock, Dragon Soul, Azurus, Azurus? The first Warlock gives the Dragon Soul a damage buffer. Normally I would do that with a Fairish Ra, but yes, you could use this Warlock for the same purpose. But yeah, if you're going to do that, it's a lot better doing it with Fairish Ra, but obviously if you don't have it, yes, you can do it with Warlock. Because Dragon Soul, Fairish Ra, Azurus, Umbra Wolf is normally what's used for that, if you're specifically going to be doing it with an Explorer. Because of how easy it is to clean up with Fairish Ra. Not to mention it feeds the mana right back. But yeah, you can easily use Warlock. The only big issue... Wow! Seriously! Oh, never mind. I thought that was a real gnome for a second. Got me with a fake. I was gonna say, if we got another gnome that quick... But yeah, that's not a real gnome. I realized as soon as I saw the Valraven, it's like, oh wait, never mind. That's not a real gnome. Let's see. We'll go get that down. Get an Infernus. And get that done. But yeah, using something like Dragon Soul, Warlock, Azurus, Umbra Wolf, for Dragon Soul, Warlock, double Azurus is perfectly fine for Explorer. The only big issue, which I was starting to say but then didn't say, is Warlock does deny your purple, which is really annoying. Speaking about very annoying, let me don't do that one. I'm getting so tired of that team. The Forest Troll next team and teams very similar to it are really frustrating. Even though they're pretty easy to still take out, they're without using the specifically right team for it, they can be very annoying. And I hate having to constantly keep switching for it, which does make sense. You shouldn't be able to use like the same team for everything, though the current meta of the game is set to the point where you can do that. It's just they need more than just a few teams that do that. They need like almost every team where you have to switch. Right now, the only teams you ever have to switch to are other super overpowered combos. But normally, your own overpowered combos will be enough that you don't need to bother switching. Like the team we're using right now can easily take out every team in the entire game. There's not a single composition that would ever really pose much of a threat other than a heavy Spirit Fox team. Oddly enough, a team of like 3 Spirit Fox with a 1-under troop would be quite effective against what we're using right now. But other than that... not really much would be much of a nuisance. These we have cleanse, we have our damage output, we have mana generation, we have board control 2 times over, plus a board clear. Have pretty much everything we need. Only mechanic we don't have is the Doom Skulls. I don't even know what I'll be building with those Doom Skulls. Definitely going to be Infernus related, definitely going to be Firebomb related. Firebomb is going to be very, very popular starting next patch, especially if they ever add a Doom Skull that also has a summon option. You don't have Infernus and you don't have Dawnbringer, but you have 1 million souls and 2 Fairish Ra. Should you craft a 3rd Fairish Ra this week or wait for Infernus or Worldbreaker? I'd probably wait for Infernus if you already have 2 Fairish Ras. A 3rd Fairish Ra isn't really that needed. A 2nd one, yes. A 3rd one, no. You don't really get much of an improvement from going from 2 to 3. Actually, I haven't even tested it fully, but there might not even be any improvement from 2 to 3 if you have a Umber Wolf fully traded for Dragon Soul double Fair Shra Umber Wolf. But yeah, that team is pretty much the same thing as running Dragon Soul triple Fair Shra, approximately. Obviously, Dragon Soul triple Fair Shra, it wins slower, but it has a higher soul gain. But the Umber Wolf team wins so much quicker that it pretty much is the same souls per hour. It's only like a few thousand off, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you don't really need a third one, is the bottom line. If you already have that many and everything, just go into a Infernus would probably be your next best bet. That or Wardbreaker, either or. They're both very similar troops. There are some situations where you'd one over the other, though. Personally, these days, I would consider Infernus to be better. It gets used in a lot more teams. Though in the compositions that Wardbreaker gets used in where it actually is viable, I do consider it to be slightly stronger than an Infernus. But Infernus is used in more teams. It's also a lot safer because it has a lower mana cost. It has a 10 lower mana cost, which is way, way easier to obtain. So it's better against mana drain, and other slightly annoying mechanics like barrier and such. Because this team and most teams that you build around Infernus do not carry a Dispel. Because there's currently nothing that really related with the colors that he normally gets used with. There really isn't anything with Dispel that fits within his teams normally. So you normally get pretty hard countered by Barrier, which can be a bit of an issue. That's actually what happened on that one Gnome team where we lost against that Dawnbringer a few battles back with the Treasure Gnome there. We ended up losing because with Infernus and Ketris, there isn't any quick way to deal with barriers. Even the team we're doing right now, the biggest fault it has is it's horrible against barrier spam. Luckily, not much uses barrier spam. These days, the only really big thing you'll ever really go up against that does do that is mainly Dawnbringer. Okay, no Mercy that can really fit anywhere. See if we can get this in there. No alignments, but I think I'm still going for it. Oh wow, that actually gives it a little bit of value. Not much though. Go move that over. Get our Mercy. Don't even need to cleanse anything, but we at least get the mana, which is the main reason why we even casted it, of course. Get another Infernus in there, and that's that. No problem, Morris. And if anyone else has any other questions, let me know, or if I missed anything. Oh yeah, Doom Skulls, yes. They did a spoiler last night on their, or actually, I think they did it during last stream, actually, too, and I just didn't mention it because I didn't see it at the time. But, yeah, last night they ended up releasing a little spoiler thing saying what Doom Skulls are. It's exactly what we thought it is. It's the exact same mechanic of what the bigger skull was in Puzzle Quest games. Basically, a Doom Skull is, well, the exact same thing as what it was in Puzzle Quest. It's a skull that does 5 additional damage and explodes everything around it. So, for example, let's say this was a Doom Skull. Let's say we destroyed it somehow. It would then destroy everything around it with an explosion. So all these gems right here, similar to how a normal explosion would work. It would also do 5 damage instead of 1 damage. But yeah, that's basically what Doom Skulls are. They are going to be ridiculously broken in the context of Gems of War. Even though they were pretty well balanced in Puzzle Quests, I don't think they will be anywhere near that in Gems of War. Mainly because the reason why they were kind of balanced in Puzzle Quests was because most board control and destroys onto the board were pretty limited and had cooldowns on them. Or even if they didn't have cooldowns on them, they had such a high mana cost that you would never be able to spam them infinitely. The problem in Gems of War is there is 1.5 billion easy ways to go and explode the board. And you don't really need that many explosions to be effective when you have Doom Skulls. You only need about 4 or 5, which is 5 and 4 off a Firebomb. So, yeah, it's going to be... We'll see what happens. But Firebomb, all the smaller explosions, Azura, Infernus, Gorgolfa, Wardbreaker, all the things that are pretty much considered the best things in the game are getting buffed in the 3.4 version. Do keep in mind, even though they're already announcing it and stuff, next patch shouldn't be 3.4. Next patch should end up being 3.35. I don't know why they're even announcing everything so early, because they haven't even gotten their most recent patch out yet. That might mean we might be seeing a patch in like a week or so. I'm not even sure. Pretty sure they already sent it through. I'm just not sure when we'll actually be getting it. But very soon TM should be the next patch, because they're already talking about 3.4 already. And 3.35 isn't even launched yet. Let's see. Do you get mana from it? No, you don't get... oh, yes. You probably get mana the same way that the explosion mechanic works. They didn't actually explain that yet. They just showed a spoiler image showing that's exactly what it is from Puzzle Quest. But, if it works like it does with explosion, it'll give 70% mana. If it works exactly like it did in Puzzle Quest, it'll give 100% mana. But, I assume it'll work exactly like how explosion does in Gems of War, where it gives 70% of the mana that you destroy. Exactly what this does. This says. It destroys a gem and all 8 gems around it, deals 5 damage instead of 1, and only 70% of the mana is generated. That's pretty much the exact same way that a Doom Skull will work, except that the number will be 5 instead of 1. That's basically what a Doom Skull is, essentially. Let's see. What do we need here? But yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun mechanic. I did really like them in Puzzle Quest. I'm just concerned with their balance in the case of Gems of War, because they seem, in the current state of the game, they don't really seem to fit that well. My other big concern with them too is that if they function like skulls, they hit through skull mitigation. So if you do like, let's say you do 40 damage from exploding a bunch of Doom Skulls, you will do 40 damage to a Gorgoltha, even if it has 75% reduction. Because if you notice right there, we exploded 7 skulls and it is 7 damage to him. Well, he doesn't have mitigation, so that's a bad example. But even if he did have like 50% skull reduction or 100% or anything like that, that still would have done that full amount of damage. So unless they're tweaking that, they definitely need to, because with Doom Skulls, it's going to be pretty broken otherwise. Not to mention, you can also still buff it with Hunter's Mark II, which is going to lead to some issues as well. Because that means to, let's say to a Gorgoltha, a Granite Skin Gorgoltha with 75% skull reduction. Let's say you hit 8 Doom Skulls and its 100 mark. You would be able to do 80 damage to it through its reduction, because it just ignores the reduction. So that's going to be ridiculously powerful against that. The biggest issue with Doom Skulls, and the reason why it's probably not going to be too over the top, even though I do have some concerns with it, it can only ever hit first slot, similar to how all skull things hit first slot. Because when you explode them or do anything with them, it functions the same way that skulls normally do, and it'll just hit whatever is first in line on the opposing team. So that factor of it's going to not make it super overpowered, at least, because you can only ever hit the first slot with it. You're restricted to that. So at least that is one limiting factor to it, though that's about the only limiting factor that it has. Every other factor is just really good. No, there's going to be multiple troops that will be able to do Doom Skulls. At this current moment in time, nothing has it. I don't think anything will be having it until version 3.4. It's all coming from a new kingdom coming in version 3.4. I forget what the kingdom's called, but yeah, there's some kind of new kingdom coming in then. And like half the troops within the kingdom are having the Doom Skull mechanic. I'm pretty sure some other kingdoms will also end up getting it. Like, I'm pretty sure something in Bladed Lands will end up getting it. Maybe something in... yeah, mainly just Bladed Lands. That's about the only other kingdom. The new kingdom and Bladed Lands are probably the 2 kingdoms that will get the Doom Skull mechanic. Maybe one hero weapon as well. We'll go take the purple over. Get the Mercy in there. Oops, come on. And get the Infernus for the kill. And that'll be that. Gorgoltha, Infernus, Roadbreaker, Mountain Crusher, Firebomb, Goblin Rocket, etc. are getting buffed. I know, all the things... Basically, think of every single troop that is extremely good right now and don't need a buff. That is everything that's getting a buff when Doom Skulls get launched. That's pretty much what it is. I know that's not intentional buff, but they are all indirectly getting buffed once that new mechanic gets added. Basically, every single thing that is already towards the strongest things in the entire game get even stronger then, which is going to be annoying. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, 3.4 might be almost as unbalanced. We'll see what other changes occur. But if they're adding both pets as well as Doom Skulls simultaneously, it will probably be the most unbalanced patch since, I believe, 3.0. Or whenever they added trait stones. I believe it was 3.0. But yeah, it'll probably be the most unbalanced patch since they added traits initially. Traits were really broken when they first launched. because they added some that were just way too overpowered. Like 100% chance to do true damage on commons, which were just able... There was actually a meta when traits first came out where commons were the best troops in the entire game because the traits that they gave some of them were just so over-the-top good. And because they were so cheap and easy to obtain, literally everyone had access to them. Oops, I missed the question. What was the highest chance of getting a Mythic from Kedar at the moment, buying event keys? The chance is about 0.1% chance. It's about 1,000 event keys or so. It's anywhere from about 500 to 1,000 approximately is the drop rate range for getting a Infernus. I mean, for getting a Elmagrim. I mean, I'll say the right one eventually. For getting a Farish Ra, you have about a 0.1% chance per key that you open, obviously. Yeah, we'll go for that first. Get that in there. Get the convert. Yes, they are planning on adding pets. What they will do, will they be pay to win? How do you obtain them? We do not know. Oops, I thought that was aligned. Oops, I meant to cast her, not Mercy. Fail. It was aligned, but it was aligned on her, not Mercy. But yeah, they are adding some kind of pet mechanic. What they will do and all that, like all the details of it, we don't know nothing about. But we do know that they're adding pets. And that's coming in 3.4, not next patch. Though, something makes me think they're just, like, skipping the mini patch or something. Because they keep talking about 3.4 constantly right now. But they haven't released the previous patch, so I don't know what's up with that. That or they're planning on adding a patch and then adding a patch, like, right after or something. Which might be the two closest patches ever to each other. Because it seems like they're pretty much done with 3.4. They've pretty much been done for 3.35 for a while. I don't know why it hasn't been launched yet. I guess it ran through issues with through Apple or something, I'm not sure. But, yeah, they've been done with the next version for like a month now, from my understanding. We've been beta testing it for like 3 weeks. And, of course, they have their internal testing and all that as well, and their QA teams and all that, so I don't know why the current patch isn't even out. I was kind of expecting it mid-April, and it's, well, mid-April right now. But who knows, maybe sometime randomly next week it'll be like, oh, hey, here's version 3.35. 3.35 is bringing, I believe, tasks to PC as well as a few fixes. Yes, a few rebalances, and there was one other feature. I forgot what it was. I'm trying to think of what it is off the top of my head now. I completely forget what it is. But yeah, nothing too huge is coming in 3.35. Some nice things, mostly just quality of life stuff and stuff like that. Nothing too over the top for the most part. Oh, I believe they're also rebalancing the treasure gnome drop rate as well, or drop table, I should say. I think their drop rate's staying the same, but their drop table is being buffed a bit. They nerfed it a bit too hard when they initially did like the whole treasure gnome nerf when they first came out. You wonder how War would do against Doomskulls with reflect ability. It would reflect the full damage, I believe. Yeah, it would reflect it if it's taking through Skull, but if it's taken through Explosion, it would not reflect. Because it doesn't reflect it when it gets exploded. That's another thing, too. You can completely ignore the enemy's traits. Any skull that is exploded or destroyed ignores all traits on the enemy. So if they have 25% skull reflect, or if they have agile, or if they have skull mitigation, not a single one of those work against exploded skulls. So that's my really big concern with... well, there's a lot of concerns with Doomskull, but that's one of them. Basically, since it ignores traits, you could just put like 10 Doomskulls on the board, which there are things I believe that can spawn that many, explode the entire board out, which is going to be ridiculously easy since there's already Doomskulls that explode when you explode them. So even something like a 4 or 5 explode would explode the entire board. Infernus, rip. But, and of course, Firebomb as well. Could you imagine Firebomb actually getting buffed? Firebomb is already so insane. Someone just said Firebomb and Best in the same sentence as I'm saying that as well. Let me see. Sunbird and Firebomb or Sunbird Ruins are the best for Explorer. Yeah, we know that. But yeah, someone's already mentioning that as we're mentioning Firebomb, but yeah, it's funny. But yeah, anything with a small amount of explodes or a large amount of explodes or even any amount of explodes is going to be pretty nice with the Doomskull mechanic. Even something like Goblin Rocket, because you just Goblet Rocket once and it gets full mana, because that explode will trigger into another explode that's going to trigger like the whole board pretty much. Plus you auto extra turn it as well, which is going to be nice, which is something that other troops don't do. But yeah, Goblin Rocket's getting buffed. A lot of the annoying stuff's getting indirectly buffed with it. But we'll see exactly how it pans out. But yeah, Doom Skulls and Pets. They could be overpowered. They could be not. We'll just have to see. But they're definitely slightly concerning for balance. But they can easily go and rebalance stuff. It's not like they're incapable of rebalancing stuff. It just feels like as of lately they've been pretty complacent with actually wanting to rebalance stuff. Because there's a lot to have to rebalance. It's like, what, how many troops now? Because most games do not have these many things to have to worry about. There are 481 troops. By the time Next Kingdom comes out, by the time Doom Skull mechanic gets introduced to the game, we're going to have over 500 troops and like 180 weapons or so. Maybe even more, because we keep getting more almost every week now, because those new useless ones that keep coming in through those raids and invasions. But, yeah, there's over 600 options that you can use on your team. So, yeah, that is obviously pretty hard to balance, but they haven't been making too many efforts at doing so, unfortunately. So that's not helping much. But, yeah, we're almost at 500 troops. Weird to imagine that a few years ago we had, like, under 100. Yet, nowadays we're at 481 and 500 by the time Next Kingdom comes out, most likely. We're very close. You suppose it means the Dragon Soul farm teams can up the difficulty? Oh yeah, well, no, probably not, because Doom Skulls are going to take a while to place onto the board. I don't think any empowered Doom Skull is going to ever be a thing. If it is, it's going to be ridiculously strong, but I don't think empowered Doom Skulls will ever be a thing. If they are, then rip, but no, unless the specifically empowered Doom Skulls were added, I don't think it's going to be viable using it for quick teams. Doom Skull is going to be mainly used for PvP, I would think. Maybe occasionally for Guild Wars as well. But I think it's mainly going to be a PvP mechanic for the most part. Because PvP is where you'd want to win the quickest without really caring if you lose. And Doom Skull mechanic is basically completely centered around that. It gets a lot of extra damage either to you or the enemy. And obviously, ideally, that'd be to you. But that mechanic in general is definitely one that would work best in PvP, I feel like. Also, thank you, D-Nuts, for the subscribe. Much appreciated. Yeah, I know. 2 years ago, we only hit 200 troops. Yet, now we're already at 500. They added a lot of troops, actually, last year. I think last year had the most troops they ever added. They actually made a graphic for it, I believe, last year, too. Forget the exact number that it said, but it was the highest number ever added in any year. And I believe this year is actually on track to be the highest as well. The new highest. So they keep adding more and more each year. But that's not too bad. It's nice getting new content, that's for sure. I just wish they would rebalance at least some of the older content to make it not completely useless. But anyways, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for now. We will be back later tonight in 6.5 hours, and we'll mainly be finishing out the last of raids. I believe we're almost at the final reward. So we'll go be doing that. We'll be messing around with PvP some, answering all the questions if you guys still have any, opening those 2 orbs, see what we get from them, and all that stuff. And we'll hopefully have that final orb tomorrow. Oh, we better reach that. Need to go and look who's the lowest scores in the guild. If not, like those 2 right there. Oh, they've been a long time. Okay, they should do their battles. They've been around for a while. They're normally pretty good about it. But yeah, hopefully they get around to it, because we need that score to go and get our 1 orb. It's pretty important. The gold and souls is pretty irrelevant, but obviously 1 major orb is really huge, especially if it rolls on blue or purple. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming down. As again, we'll be back later tonight, 6.5 hours from now. And other than that, nothing really big happening next week. I believe it's just a pretty normal week of Gems of War. The following week, we are getting a Silverglade event, though, which is going to be bringing in a new legend. So that's probably going to be the next time you'd want to use event keys. Also, of course, right now, what you'd mainly want to be doing the rest of this week, if you haven't already, definitely make sure you have a Fair Shra if you have any means of obtaining one. Not only is he in the Soul Forge, but he's also available in event keys. So definitely worth attempting at the event key, or if you have the diamonds for it. Pretty sure anyone who has done it already, but do consider that. Also, tomorrow is Diamond Day, so if you wanted to go and get more diamonds that way, you could get it off the thing tomorrow if you really wanted to. But yeah, definitely highly advised if you haven't gotten a Fair Shra to get one. He's really good at farming souls and will save you a lot of time. He can almost double the amount of souls you gain per hour just from having one of them in a standard soul farming team with like Dragon Soul, Fair Shra, Azurus, Umber Wolf. You pretty much double the amount of souls you can gain from just having one Fair Shra in there. So it's really nice to have. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming down. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I need to mention then. I'll see you all later. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.